Okay, hello and welcome everyone to New Moon 2020 Cycle 11, also known as Freaky Friday Cycle 2. Okay, so before we start, I'm just going to briefly explain how the tournament works and briefly explain what the format is. Okay, so New Moon is a weekly round-robin tournament where every player can play their matches throughout the week, and and setups are public, so everyone can see what everyone else plays after the tournament starts. So to explain Freaky Friday, it's a format where players that sign up will be sent 2 folders to choose from previous New Moon cycles, from other players. So if you have a player that has a folder they made, then that will be rerolled, or if they have 2 folders by the same person, then that will also be rerolled. But yeah, so that's the idea behind the formats, that you'll pick other players' folders and see how you can do them. So before we start, I'm just going to go through. You can sign up for next week, which will be Cycle 11, which is going to be normal BN, and that will be leading to Blood Moon. So make sure to sign up before Sunday 10 PM PST. That's the sign up deadline. You can do !New Moon to get more information about how to sign up. Yeah, so going to be joining me today on commentary is Eurasia. Hello, Eurasia.
Huh? Where am I? Wait a minute. I'm not Eurasia, I'm Mega Master X. Because it's Freaky Friday, woo!
Yeah? Alright.
Oh, come on, PlayerZero. I was expecting more hype than that.
Welcome, Mega Master X, to the stream. Good to have you on.
There we go. Alright, it's this format is really interesting since you're using, as PlayerZero mentioned, someone else's folder. So using a strategy that you're most likely not used to is actually a pretty fun time.
It is indeed, and we'll be heading right into discussing setups for the first match, which is going to be MDen vs BitMuffin.
Yes, BitDen versus MMuffin.
Yeah, so this is going to be an interesting matchup. So before we start, I just want to highlight that MDen is one of the more recent players. They've been around for a bit. I think they joined in a few tournaments. But BitMuffin, I think this is their first tournament that they joined in, and they joined very recently. So it'll be very interesting to see how this matchup turns out.
He has 3 Giga chips in that folder. Oh my gosh.
Yeah, so if we go into the setup, so MDen is playing with one of my older builds, which was from New Moon 2020 Cycle 1. And yeah, as you mentioned, it has 3 gigas. It has 2 giga plus 1 Navi customizer, which allows you to add an extra giga.
PlayerZero, you are a madman.
I mean,
no one person should have that much power.
That folder is actually really fun to play with. So you have custom 5 because all of that space is taken by the giga plus 1. But so what that makes the folder, your draws a bit more luck dependent. So if you start with a really good hand, you can do much better than if you have a lot of different codes at times you don't want them. But overall, I think it's actually pretty good folder and it's really fun to play.
At least that folder is using Falser, which means you have access to SoulXCross. So custom 5 isn't that bad, and it also helps that the Navi customizer includes first barrier, which is generally what you want to protect yourself from being decrossed so early. So yeah, the Navi customizer has some good defense.
Yeah, so the HP is somewhat low, but because, as you mentioned, of the first barrier and the rigged full cast, and then can go into dust turn 1 and then use full cust straight away, which will allow them to go through their folder more quickly and find hub batch, for example, which gives custom 8, which is one of the ways, one of the win conditions in the folder.
Oh, that's right. Hub batch would basically make up for the lack of custom and all that stuff too. All right, cool, yes. And he has 2 very strong attack gigas as well. Base anomaly and knuckles. Knuckles.
Yeah, so the idea is that for this 5 area grabs, it seems like a lot, and it is the maximum number of area grabs you can have. But the idea is that it allows you to go through your folder more smoothly, so you can use them fairly liberally. Basically, you don't have to worry about them too much, so you can use that to free your hand. But also they work really well with meteor knuckles, which allows it to have higher chance for more hits, and with hub batches, which allows you to get in with your charge shots with Tengu and Tomahawk Cross.
You're silly though. Like, you can never have enough area grabs. Area grab is very useful, especially if your opponent doesn't have grab revenge or judgment. But it looks like BitMuffin does have grab revenge, and he has 1 judgment.
Yeah, so BitMuffin is also playing the folder that SoulXCross made from Cycle 10, and that has 4 area grabs, and as you mentioned, that judgment and grab revenge. So these 5 area grabs can be very easily denied if either side isn't careful about how they use their area grabs.
Indeed. Although area grab is good at grabbing area, just camping the front will usually stop you. Yeah. Well, will usually stop your area grabs. Though I see BitMuffin's running Gregor, which means they have access to SoulXCross, which you generally don't want to be in their face, considering he has 3 attack plus 1s. So that charge shot's gonna hurt.
Yeah, so, and there is the Reg Buster up for to instantly give that attack 5. And yeah, so that build is mainly L code, so you see there's uninstall, which Amden also has in G code. But the advantage of having L codes is that you have a lot of ways to break panels. So you can see there the 2 Elect Dragons which crack panels underneath them, and the 3 Magnums which also decross dust, which is one of the main win conditions, you can call it, for Amden.
Yeah, Magnum on aside from probably lag, is a really good chip to have, simply because you can aim it, and it also destroys the panels under it as well, as playerzero said. So Magnum's great. Though he looks like SoulXCross only had 3 megas for that folder.
Yeah, which is an interesting choice.
He's probably hoping for the Buster to make up for the difference in power, because the megas he chose are ones that are pretty good, but they also have utility, like Element Man changing the panel to the field, or Judge Man returning your area.
Yeah, exactly. They're mostly there. I mean, they can be really good with decrossing, like Erase Man or Element Man, but that's also part of the utility. They're not really there to deal damage, unlike what Amden has in Element Man SP or the Ground Man SP, which are really hard hitting.
Yeah, it's really good. I think it's really cool that the later Bioware games realized that the Navi chip should do more than just attack.
Yeah. And
I think that's part of the reason why the battling in Bioware 6 is so great. You just have more options.
Yeah, definitely. That's a really good point.
One more point that I want to make about the Navi customizer is that he's running Gregor air shoes, which is really important, considering that Gregor normally does not have access to air shoes, while Foster has 2 options for air shoes. So at least SoulXCross will be good regarding crack panels, hole panels in case they happen. So he just has to be careful of being uninstalled.
Yeah. And
alright, he's gonna be
So I was just saying that we see the custom tool that BitMuffin has, which is slightly. Usually Gregarbles have custom one, but this is decision by this from Disgust, where you have the rigged Buster up and extra custom instead of, and 100 less HP without brush. So it's a bit of a trade where they decide the extra custom instead of other utility stuff.
Yep, we're gonna see if that Buster can help make the difference. Are you ready, player zero?
I sure am ready.
I'm not ready, hold on. Okay, now I'm ready.
Alright,
let's do it.
Head right into the match.
Hey. You know, I always thought that Navi Custom was a part always said fast barrier.
I mean, I think I sometimes call it fast barrier still.
Yeah, a lot of the abbreviations were a little weird when I was a kid. Yeah. I didn't pay attention. Like, I think my friends call Flash Bomb Fish Bomb.
Okay, that's a good one.
Yeah, it was just a lot of funny. Although they both have the same HP, that barrier gives them a slight advantage. Oh wow, he's going slash cross right off the bat. Uh-oh.
Ooh, and that TFC chain.
Although he lost out on that on the area grab and all that. Oh! Ooh. That would have been bad!
Now we go straight into custom. We see the uninstall in hand. Okay, so it looks like Amden's decided to keep uninstall and the Elements Man.
In order to use that, in order to make sure that that hits properly, he has to change it to grass, right?
Yeah. So or ice, I think ice works as well.
Wait, but doesn't the ice effect happen at the same time? When, I know that grass element man happens first and then he attacks.
I think ice changes the panels first, then attack, but I'm not really sure. I think Alec is the other way around. No. Actually, I think all of them change the panel first, then attack.
Muffin. Undershoot. Alright, let's see. No, he's on Holy Barrier!
That's rough, yeah. The olive panel was really difficult to see.
Uh-oh. Oh no. He's not social distancing! Ooh! Good thing he's on that Holy panel, or that would have hurt. Alright, this is...
Okay.
Okay, he's changing strategies. He doesn't have anything to remove the barrier. So he's switching to Tengu.
Yeah, so Tengu Cross has an ability that when you do B back input, you have a gust of wind from the back, and that also removes barriers, including life aura. So Amden is going to try to go for that, but this is very risky, because in this position, BitMuffin can have Race Man or Judge Man or Element Man to get the instant. Okay, never mind.
Okay.
That, yeah.
Half damage.
Ooh.
Ah! Oh no! Race Man. You see, when playerzero called it. If he was still slashed, that actually would have hurt.
And the charger connects. All of that was outside the hollow panel, and unfortunately, this will have to be thrown away.
Those Gregor charge shot hurts. Alright, Imasuka says the guide says Element Man changes panel before damage. Okay. It's just really hard to see because it looks like it's at the same time.
Yeah.
Phantom Matt saying he doesn't have the social distance. He's got an exemption for being on holy ground. Which I guess is true. You can't get more holy than holy panel. Uh-oh.
On the counter!
On the counter! Oh, that was 400 damage!
And the counter hit denied the uninstall as well, so BitMuffin wouldn't have to worry about broken panels. You can just have the free air shoes and super armor.
This is not looking good for him then.
BitMuffin has exactly 10 times the HP, so this is going to be very rough to come back from. Ooh, exchange!
Oh, just my area grab!
Oh, wow.
Well, being grabbed to death hurts, man.
Don't see that very often, but there it was. Area grab finishing off that first game.
I mean, when you think about it, area grab is just a bunch of energy falling on you, so I can understand why that would kill you. That's alright, that was only game 1. Keep this game into the folder.
See,
oh, she chose an account.
Slash again, and with the lifer again, nice.
Ah. It's alright. He at least has an answer to that life order this time. Ooh, dodge that. Phantom Matt saying you're actually getting killed by panels falling on you.
Ooh, that would be very painful. Okay, so we see Emden trying to go for that new variable, but I don't think they have any way to confirm the double life sword with the anti-damage. See if they can complete that for the damage. Ooh,
oh,
very close.
There you go.
Let's see if they can go for it. And the D-cross, that is rough.
He's really gonna hold off until it times out.
Yeah, so Raceman and Raceman SP always time out on the second panel, while Raceman EX will time out on the third panel that it targets.
Yeah, it's weird that EX is the only oddball.
Yeah, I have no idea why.
Tomahawk. Okay. The good old TSC check. Oh, he stepped forward for that. Now he might step back.
Okay, so one interesting thing is that one of the ways that BitMuffin can remove life aura is to actually go into SoulXCross and use Dragon, because elect chips get plus 50 from being in SoulXCross, and that will make it exactly 200.
Yes. The benefits that the crosses give aren't just buster related. They are also usually, they are usually also elemental related as well. Which is Tomahawk Cross being able to charge a wood chip to times 2 power.
Yeah.
Or the oddball, Charge Cross, who charges up to plus 100.
Ooh, that is very rare to see. But I guess it could happen. Okay, we're heading into turn 4. Ooh, looks like Windrak is the option to remove it. Okay, so this also, yeah, there it is. Q-Force coming out, does a lot of damage and no defense for Undead.
There's actually the one way to just walk through Kernel Force. Super Armor Tomahawk Cross.
Yeah, Tomahawk Cross gives status guard, which means you can't be paralyzed.
And because he has Super Armor, he can't be flinched either. Although Emden's HP is running low pretty fast again.
Yeah, we've already seen the BitMuffin has very explosive folder. There's a lot of very quick damage that can happen, and we see the SoulXCross, so there it is, and with uninstall as well. Ooh, that was unfortunate time.
He's right in the middle though, so I'm not gonna do a lot. 1, 2 hits.
Yeah.
That's pretty much the amount I always get when I use Meteor Knuckle.
Yeah, so the way Meteor Knuckle works is that it randomly hits your panel or one of the panels around you. So if you have more panels around you, it has less chance to hit your opponent. I mean, if your opponent has more panels around them, it has less chance to hit them. So having it in a corner will average 4 hits. Having 2 panels, so the panel your opponent is standing on and 1 panel next to them, will give you the maximum 8 hits.
Oh no, that's not a good TFC.
And that will do.
Oh!
And yeah,
that time, that was, well, how much is that? Times 3 or times 4?
Times 3. But now we see. Ooh, nice.
Ah. Unfortunately, because he was Gregor, he wouldn't have flinched from the machine gun.
Yeah. So Gregor Beast keeps super armor and it can be uninstalled. And yeah, that was very close ending there with BitMuffin staying near the very end and finishing off with buster shots.
Pew 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 pew. Man, that first match was pretty explosive.
Yeah, those very well played from both of our players, especially BitMuffin, who really, I mean, they haven't had time to practice at all. That was their first tournament they joined in, and so far they've been doing pretty well as a new player. So looking forward to see more matches from them.
Yes, this is gonna be good.
All right, well, let's head into the first match. The next match, I mean, which will be luckytyphlosion vs Symes.
Lucky. So looking here, Lucky is using Salad's folder.
Yeah.
And looks like Symes is he's using your folder.
That is another one of my folders, so that is one of the freaky aspects of this tournament. This week I think there were 3 players using folders made by me, and whereas last week there were none, and there were 3 people using the same exact folder. So it's very interesting how that worked out.
Shame on you, playerzero. Sharing your folder for everybody. We don't share in Battle Network.
I mean, clearly that's what the format is based on, so...
Oh, dang, you're right. Alright, looking here, looks like Salad has some good old... Well, it's not. Lucky Salad's folder has some poison seed up there. Well, yeah, only 1 poison seed.
Yeah, so that's an interesting folder. We see a very rare Navicust piece, which is Chip Shuffle. And...
Chip Shuffle?
Yeah, oh, wow. And in Gregor as well, so...
I guess that makes sense since Gregor does not have access to dust.
Yeah.
Wow, like, Chip Shuffle, you're right, that's not something that you see every day.
Yep, but what we also see is the Giga, which is the main premise behind the folder, which is Bug Riser Sword.
Bug Riser Sword. Huh. Like, so it's one of those rare times that we're not seeing Kernel Force, which is actually pretty cool. Kernel Force is great,
yeah,
but everyone uses it. I enjoy seeing something a little different.
Yeah, indeed, and especially with this folder where you can really tell it's built around that Giga, because you see the Navicust has no attack plus parts, or 1 attack plus part, and the reason for that is that Bug Riser Sword isn't affected by any of your Navicust pieces, so charge max, attack max, or speed max don't change the attack, charge speed, or firing speed for Bug Riser Sword.
Yep, all it is just a big old, well, it's not a dark sword because it's only 200 damage. A exhausted dark sword.
Yeah.
As I mentioned, it only does 200 damage.
Yeah. and it stays with you even if you cross or go into beast out.
Yes, it's basically the opposite version of Falser's Bug Death Thunder. So it'll always stick with it.
Yeah.
Though we see Salad has Wood Dragon, Sanctuary, Slow Gauge. So this folder seems to be altering the field while also making sure that the game goes at their pace. Because that slow gauge of Bugrai Sword is basically almost as bad as being Slash Burst.
Yeah, and we see that looking at Symes at the build Symes playing, he doesn't have fast gauge, and he has one slow gauge as well. So as soon as one of these slow gauges come out, they will stick until the end of the match.
It's interesting to see slow gauge on Falser.
Yeah, so that is well, I guess I'll explain the reasoning behind it. So this is an attack plus Falzar build, which is why you see that attack 4 and 5 area grabs again, which again works really well with Meteor Knuckles. But yeah, so the idea behind that folder is that you want to pressure your opponent and try to get in with as much damage from your charge shots, but also when you're pressuring with your charge shots, you have other options like Neo Vary, you have Ground Man SP, Element Man SP, and obviously that Meteor Knuckles.
Well, here's gonna be a lot of fun because both folders have their nice good old area grabs. They both have uninstall.
Yeah.
And they both have machine guns.
Yeah, and we see that the Navi cost for Symes has beat and rush, so that's something Lucky will have to be careful of, because if he uses Bugrai's sword without removing beat or being in a time freeze chain, that could mean he would lose his Giga chip.
Yes, being friends with animals pays off, people. So be nice to animals.
Indeed.
All right, Player Zero, are you ready for this?
And before we head into the match, see Wolfie is asking why the reflector. So very briefly, that folder doesn't have any invis, and I think that was an older version of the build where I was trying out to see how other forms of defense would work, and reflector works pretty well if you can expect your opponent to have grab revenge or to push you with a wind rack when you're camping on plus area, but it's also really good for giving you very big advantage in game if you can deny charge shots and land the attack. That is 500-600 damage lead.
And also fun fact, a reflector you can also attach uninstall as well. So it's a pretty big surprise getting uninstalled by a reflect.
You know, I actually didn't think of that.
I've actually done it once.
Oh, nice.
I've done it once to test it out when I was fighting Salad with 10 Buster. So I just ended up putting it in and boom.
Ooh.
But the thing is that it's so fast that Salad didn't notice it at first.
Oh, wow, okay.
Yeah, so it's really funny. So that's actually another fun thing you can actually try to put on too, because Reflector comes in asterisk.
Yeah.
Reflector blocks Gundel Soul too. Oh yeah, Reflector got buffed.
Alright,
alrighty,
let's head right into the match.
I don't wanna. Okay.
Well, it's too late.
It's too late. Shuffle!
Yeah, so this is going to be interesting to see how Lucky decides to go about with shuffling through the folder, because you can, if you take a chip as your selected chip, then it wouldn't get shuffled. So we'll see if Lucky keeps on shuffling to try to look for that Giga as fast as possible, or maybe hold on to some chips to try to go for damage in between.
Every day he's shuffling, shuffle. Sorry, I had to. Because you really don't see shuffle on the Navi on the screen like that. So it's actually pretty fun. Oh boy. Oh yeah, that's true. He has warp stuff. Ouch.
But now Lucky still has the life aura. There it is.
Oh yeah, the reflector is super effective against Gregor. Lord Gregor.
Ooh, and we see that bug fix already.
Yeah, that was fast.
I guess luckytyphlosion does have custom bugs, so he can't really hold on to his bug fix. He would want to take it out as soon as possible. Okay, we see the wind track. Let's see how well Lucky is able to avoid. Ooh. And decross.
At least it was decrossed on Holy Panel, so it wasn't as effective as it could have been.
Yeah, but it's still painful because he loses. Ooh!
Oh! See? You don't expect Reflector! Wait, did he activate beat already?
I don't think so.
So that would... Yeah, he can't use that just yet.
Ooh. And he shuffled away from a race man, which was his 1 mega that he could throw away.
Lucky, don't! No!
There it
No!
is!
Oh! He forgot about beat!
Yeah, that was really unfortunate. Losing his main win condition. Now Lucky's going to really have to struggle with this match.
Holy grass!
Ooh, and the 2x from the Elements Man SP. This is looking really rough.
He pushed him! Oh my god! He lost his chip! He lost that chip charge attack because he just backhanded him. He said, no! Stop! Oh man, this is very unfortunate. This is not going in the direction Lucky wanted at all.
Yeah, and Lucky only has attack +1, so and this will deny the decross.
Yo, beat is fat.
Yeah, it's very difficult. Ooh, nice.
Oh, that was 400.
And but then immediate knuckles.
No, broken knuckles. Decross knuckles.
Ooh.
That was just that's almost as bad as getting ground man / cross.
Yeah, that was really unfortunate. Like that match really didn't turn out how Lucky wanted. Losing his Giga, then getting. I mean, that was it. That was the match. Yeah.
Like getting punched in the face by a breaking fist when you're Slash. I'm gonna have nightmares of that for a while. Oh yeah, nice. That first time, bug stop. I mean bug stop, bug fix. Although, fortunately, bug fix does not fix the confusion because that's not a bug.
Okay. So, yeah.
You remember this time.
And let's see if this uninstall connects. Nice. Ooh, ending with the reflector.
Block.
Charge Cross's charge shot is pseudo breaking, so it goes through reflector. So it is one of the good ways to deny reflector from doing anything.
And it also stops risky hunting too, but it's fire.
Yeah. Okay, we see the spout cross coming out again. Looks like I might be seeing a bowl. Yeah, there it is. Ooh, into a wood dragon.
That was a ×4. Yo, these ×2 crosses is just too much.
Yeah, and looks like Lucky doesn't have any air grabs yet, so he's going to have to shuffle to try to find something. Ooh, but no way to regain his area.
Okay, it looks like he's gonna Sanctuary first, then grab him. I'm guessing he doesn't, because he doesn't want him to take that area.
Yeah, that's the plan, and he can use that to try to pressure Symes, since Symes still has some defense. Lucky is waiting for the should be waiting for another air grab because he should expect that to come. Yeah, there it is.
There it is.
And the life. Ooh. Another air grab. And another air grab, okay.
Yo, Symes, back up! That's a lot of, that's a lot of grab. And he's not even using gloves! This is making me very tense.
Yeah, so this is going to be very rough for Lucky. Even if he uses both area grabs, that will just put him to neutral area, so not being ahead on area is going to be really bad for trying to go in for Bugrise's sword. And the Swindrak might not even push, okay. It did, so it looks like Lucky was the client. Ooh, nice.
Oh yeah, they both went out super armor, so...
And the Meteor Knuckles in the corner again, actually finishing up the game.
Pow, 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 pow!
Ooh, double Meteor Knuckles finished. That was really rough.
Is Symes secretly a boxer? Because he was putting in those punches, man.
Yeah, that is one of the scariest things to be hit by when you are in SoulXCross. Just Meteor Knuckles, especially in a corner or with maximum damage, because that was a lot of damage to get hit by.
Oh my gosh, I'm not used to seeing all that much Meteor Knuckle. You know what, Symes? I'm gonna ban you from New Moon. That was way too violent. Yeah, oh wait, I don't have the power to do that.
Yeah, that was a really, really rough match for Lucky. Even after losing his Giga Game 1, the Meteor Knuckles just sealed off the deal and finished him off.
Alright, now we gotta head on to the next match, which I'm still kind of crying over that last one.
Okay, so the next match is Amden vs ShuGen.
No, it's Star, ShuGen, Star. You gotta say the Star,
man. I mean, that is a good point. Okay, so again, this is going to be another match to look out for because ShuGen is one of the newer players as well. I think they joined a few weeks ago, but this was their first tournament as well, and coincidentally it's also against Amden.
Trying to see what kind of, well, this is Shadows folder, so I think I remember this folder. It's a whole bunch of area grabs, a bunch of anti-damage, good old Snake and Geddon, double point and attack plus 30. Oh man, if only we had meteors.
Yeah, so that is quite the build that Shadow made. So if we start by the Navicast, because that will decide or explain some of the reasoning for the folder. You can see that he has folder pack plus folder pack 1, which is what's giving him 1 extra mega and custom space, but he also has that shield and most importantly that emotion bug with humor being out of bound.
I do like how so far this is the first humor build that we're seeing.
Yeah, so Shadow, do you explain how emotion bug or humor bug works?
Okay, I'll explain it. Basically, if you notice while battling, Mega Man's face is right there in the top left corner. Basically, that's his emotional state. It can change during battle, either to being normal, full synchro if you counter, angry if you get hit really hard or stunned for a good while, tired, which is after 3 turns of Beast Out, and very tired, which is what happens if you use Beast Over, which is Beast Out one more time. But humor basically makes you emotional, quotation marks. So it basically makes you start cycling between your emotions. You cycle between normal, tired, angry, and mind blown, full synchro. So although each chance of getting each one is random, so more often than not, you could end up with just alternating between regular and tired, but you might also get full synchro and anger like several times in a row. So it really is pure 100% RNG.
Yeah, so you can try to wait it out sometimes, but we see that the build that Shadow made doesn't have slow gauge, because unfortunately, while it might seem like slow gauge would be good because it gives you more of an opportunity to wait it out, against builds that have attack max, which are typically Gregor builds, or high attack Falzar, it's going to be very rough to try to survive the whole turn. You end up losing out on DPS overall.
Yeah, like the main reason humor builds are usually used is for a focus on chip damage. Since imagine getting hit by ×2 Mach Gun, or ×2 or ×2 Muramasa, especially ×2 Muramasa, that's 1,000 damage right there.
Yeah, so
although sorry, one last thing. Although not every chip can be ×2, such as Snake, because Snake doesn't have a damage mod.
Actually, I think you might be thinking about the older games. In BN6, Snakes does have damage number.
Oh, really?
Yeah, and that is one of the ideas behind Shadow's folder, is trying to go for a lot of area grabs and going for Snakes or Slashman.
I guess that makes sense. I do remember that they nerfed Snake to the ground because they realized people were just adding grass plus 30, blast plus 30, grass plus 30, and just making it super powerful.
Yeah, so they are null elements, so I think they used to be grass, but they aren't anymore.
Yes. A shame. Could you imagine it getting powered up by Tomahawk or something like that?
Ooh, that would be really strong, because now like if you can get it with maximum area, then it's basically the same damage as Q-Force. So if you can get plus 30 with it, or 2x from Emotion Bug, then that will be a lot of damage to get in.
Oh wait, no, you can't do that to time stop. Dang. You forget you can't do that to time stop. The ×2 is only on non-time freeze chips.
Yeah. That is correct.
Okay. Alright, but this should be fun.
Yeah, it should indeed. So it's going to be between who can try to maintain their plus area, or they both have very heavy chip damage, and it's going to be quite the match.
Yes. And I'm ready to play some football! To play some net battles!
Alright, well, let's head right into the match.
Let's do it. Yo, that's bad. Yo, you got full cuss first turn. That's amazing.
It is indeed.
It's regular chip. Of course it's not amazing.
I mean, isn't having a reg chip a new thing with BN? Were you always able to have reg?
Always.
Oh, was it always a thing? Okay.
Snakes are a low budget Kernel Force? Yo, that's harsh. Although he's currently green in vulnerability, so he's completely invincible.
Yeah, so that's one of the things that can happen when you have...
Move!
Ooh.
Move!
Ooh! At the very
last I got him.
Yeah, if Amden had stayed in the middle and just moved from left to right, then he would have been able to completely avoid that machine gun. But unfortunately, we see now I'm then stuck with custom 5 having to take few chips every turn, which is going to be very rough.
Yeah, color bug is good, but you might end up with just being blind or confused. But at least when you get green invulnerability, oh, it's gone. It only stays on you as long as you're in base form.
Let's see if that fire connects. Oh no, that was really unfortunate.
Ah, there goes that ×4. It's been a real slice.
I think the game probably was lagging for them. So the way we record matches, it makes it so you can't really see the lag that would happen when they were playing. So oftentimes you see things like that happen, and they can be pretty well explained by the game just lagging out or the inputs being bad at that moment.
Yeah, like what we're watching it was not necessarily how they played.
Yeah.
Since the way VBA recording works, it records every frame exactly how the game is supposed to be. So it records it at a full 60 frames, ignoring lag.
Okay, so it looks like the Groundman SP connected.
Ouch. Erase him!
So we see all of this area, we might have ShuGen going for /SP.
There you go. Because he's been decrossing, he has access to humor again.
Yeah, so getting decrossed is actually not that bad for ShuGen because, as you mentioned, they get access to motion bug, which can be one of the main conditions they want to go for. So that's one of the more interesting things about this build that Shadow made. So it's a very fine balance between, because the build does have bug fix. So when do you want to use bug fix? When do you want to cross? When do you want to try to get the advantage from that 2x?
It's so many things to think about.
Yeah.
Who needs to see? Yo, you can't hurt your opponent if you can't see them. Or can you?
That is a very interesting question.
I mean, you don't have to aim if you have, like, White Shot or something, or Meteor Knuckle. Speaking of Meteor Knuckle... Ooh. Knuckles! One!
Yeah, that was one hit, yeah.
Oh, that's my luck using Meteor Knuckles!
Yeah, so it being used in the center with 8 panels around it is very unfortunate. Because that means on average you have 1 hit, whereas on the corner, on average you can have 4 hits.
4. Meteor Knuckle kind of looks like how I punch in real life. Just, missing.
You need to learn from Symes. His punches were on point that game.
They were.
Okay, so we see M then taking one of the recovery 300s, keeping the other in hand. Which is actually a rough choice, because having one chip to be stuck on your hand and you don't have that much else to take with it can be rough, but also obviously wasting HP plus 300 isn't ideal either.
A lot of thinking here.
Yeah, this is actually a pretty complicated matchup because ShuGen has a lot of options to go for. We've seen that they used bug fix already, so they could decide to cross or stay and try to get advantage out of shield. We see a recover coming out, so that could mean Humpatch would come as well.
There you go.
Nice there, grab removing the anti-damage. double points. Let's see what goes with that. We've already seen roll, so we wouldn't be for that recovery. Nice.
Times 2.
Ooh, slash.
Plus 60.
Oh, that was a bit too early.
Yeah, he was still invisible.
Yeah, so one thing about Slashman is that having the plus modifier, so attack plus 30 or double point, doesn't actually add damage to the kunais or knives that get fired. The only way to add damage to these is through emotion bug or getting 2x.
Well, yep, yeah, the kunai in the books can be made stronger through times 2. Ooh.
Okay,
there it is, top match.
And then deciding to hold on to the anti-damage. Ooh.
Unfortunately, he had no choice since he missed that.
Yeah.
Ow.
And that's already, I think, 2 of the gigas gone, and that's the 3rd one. So the damage options are still going down, but Amden still has charge shots, and they're going to SoulXCross exactly for that reason.
It's good that he has hub bash now, since now he can actually do some buster damage.
I believe Spout has 60 damage with attack max and is very fast charge time.
Yep. There we go.
And we see that recovery as well. Ooh, getting coming out well.
Is it time for snakes? Snake!
It is nice.
Not yet, Snake. It's not over yet.
Ooh, Amden has 2 area grabs, so they could reduce the damage if Snakes comes out next turn. So Wolfie is saying in chat that Spout does 70 instead of 60 for maximum attack.
Yeah, I was looking right now. Oh man, all that damage!
That had that plus 30 that really added up. And then does get 50 recovery from using water chips in Spouts. And he's chip charging nice with the uninstall as well.
Well, he managed to get off his snakes before he took it off, but that was... Let me see, 6, 12, 18, 360... That's 500... That was a lot of damage.
That was the same damage as Q-Force. Oh wow!
Ah!
And the Muramasa miss. Nice.
Oh my gosh, that Neo variable! Piercing supersonic boom! I wasn't expecting... Well, that actually makes sense. The supersonic boom, the combination for it is actually really easy to pull off. It's just back forward, B.
Yeah. So that one is one of the easier inputs. The really difficult one is that double life sword.
Which is up B, down B, up B. Something like that. But for some reason, I feel like you gotta put it in super fast.
Yeah. And obviously lag and things like that can very much affect it.
He's invincible again.
Ooh. That is pretty lucky having to start with invulnerability on both times. Okay, so now Amden still has the full custom in hand, so what they can do is use Dust Chute to recycle a few of the chips, and then go straight into full custom without taking any new chips for more recycling, basically. but looks like they're going for more offensive play with... Ooh, nice. Got very nice movement avoiding that machine gun.
And there goes all that holy panel. He's gonna box him in.
We see these broken panels, which unfortunately can deny ground cross. But I think the middle one might get repaired before the turn ends. So we're going to see. Ooh, see that double point. That might be... Okay, so that was the slash money X again. Ooh, that was a bit too early, so these didn't connect.
Yeah, he's technically off the field, so the ship didn't have anything to target. Rocks! Oh boy, he's trapped. He's trapped! Free him!
I mean, he is trapped, but that also is going to protect him from base anomaly, because that doesn't go over hulls. Ooh, though it looks like MDM might be trying to go for the point blank hit, where it actually connects even over hulls. So let's see if that works. Ah, no, that was a bad TFC. They'll lose the area. Yes, I'm just waiting for these rounds to get fixed. Nice!
Right in his face! 1, 2, 3, 4!
I think it
Wait,
was
what?
640 damage?
Wait, that's weird. The wheels activated the cracked panel.
Yeah, so that's one thing with how the game handles crack panels. So before the panel fully fixes, it starts flashing. So sometimes you can use your time freeze chip on the frame where it's flashing but looks like it's fixed, which can actually cause you to miss your attacks, which is very unfortunate when it happens.
That's weird. Because...
Yeah, ShuGen is stuck there, not really being able to do much, just having to take all of these hits from the buster shots.
Yeah, that's rough. Although, thankfully the buster shots are only doing 2 damage.
Didn't Amden use Hub Badge? I'm not really sure. I think I saw. Yeah, so we can see he has custom 8, which the only way to get that is through Hub Badge.
There's bug fix finally.
Ooh.
Oh, wait, he's still on the field, right? No.
The animation started.
Oh, that's rough. So the minute it starts, he's off the field technically.
Yeah. Ooh, that meteor is in the corner.
1, 2, 3, 4,
5 hits.
5. Wow. Yeah, that was 5. One snuck in at the last second.
Nice. This is bringing down ShuGen to 77 HP, so we've already seen how much damage snakes can do, especially with plus 30 still being on the board, and I believe the 2 recoveries still haven't been used. So this game could go either side.
Yep, it's still pretty close.
Ooh, roll will be blocked by Invis, but giving some recovery. And now we know that ShuGen is on R-code this hand.
Oh wow!
Oh no, that's really unfortunate. Yeah,
Decross.
that decross. So
He got uninstalled twice.
and look, then the final buster shot at the very end to finish off that match.
That was rough. Those knuckles got him properly.
Yeah, I think another thing is that we saw that ShuGen at the start of game 2 didn't really have much. So that was probably a really unfortunate starting hand without, and I don't think we saw all that many emotion bug procs as well.
Yeah, I wasn't seeing a lot of ×2 humor bugs.
Yeah,
So he probably didn't have a lot of good. He probably did not have a lot of good opportunities.
yeah, but again,
Since
ShuGen is one of the more newer players, and they are doing pretty well. So going to be looking forward to see how they do going forward.
it's time to move on to the next match.
Alright, next match is going to be Wolfie vs SoulXCross.
Oh wait, this is the wrong one. There it is. Okay. No wait, that's not it either. There it is. Okay. Looks like Wolf is using Rose's folder and SoulXCross is using Diago's.
Yeah, so the folder that Soul is using is the one that I've talked about when we started the stream. Three people had that same folder in Cycle 1, which was pretty fun to watch.
Yeah, we're seeing a lot more variety this time. Wow, check out Diago with that folder pack 2.
Yeah, so he has, I think, 7 megas, and which you don't really see all that often.
Well, compared to 2 gigas, yeah.
But yeah, so looking at Wolfie's build, we see that he has more of a standard Gregar build with attack max, air shoes, custom 1 and rush, and the slow gauge. Though there is some splash with Barry 100 and Barry 200 with the 2 recoveries.
Yes, we also see that he has some Magnum. He has 1 Gundel Soul, which is most likely to go with Colonel Force, which if you remember what I mentioned last time, how we haven't seen a lot of Gundel Force lately.
Yeah,
we're probably gonna see that here.
Yeah, so do you want to explain the Gundel Force or Gundel Soul and Q Force combo?
Yes. Although we haven't seen it yet because the last time Colonel Force was used, he had super armor and he also had status card. Colonel Force summons soldiers to the field, every shot paralyzed, and during that paralysis, you can usually follow up with something good. In recent years, people realize, oh wait, if he's standing right still, let me hit him with something hard hitting that does not make him blink. And usually you would beast out for the bonus for Colonel Force and then use Gundel Soul for the lock on. Because Gundel Soul 3 does like 400, 500 damage in Sun?
Yeah.
It does a lot of damage, but the problem is, in Battle Network 6, once you use the Gundel Soul, you're stuck using it for the duration. Previous games would let you stop early if you let go of the button, but Battle Network 6, you are literally committed to using that chip until it's done. So usually hitting Gundel Soul is hard unless you find a way to lock him. And Colonel Force is literally one of the easiest ways to actually lock him down.
Yeah, and we see, although it's very unlikely that we're going to see that from Wolfie, there is also that Geddon as well. So that could be another option to try to confirm Gundel Soul in general. But yeah, so they both have Geddon, and SoulXCross being in Falzar has the option to use Hub Badge, which is his Giga that gives air shoes, or going into Tengu Cross or Beast Out. So the Geddon from Wolfie might not do that much, but if used well in a slow gauge turn, then that can be very big. But yeah, I believe that's everything. Do you have anything else you want to add before we head into the match? think there might be an issue on your edge then. So just going to head right into the match. Oh, can you hear me now?
Dang. Yeah, apparently my power cable ran out. Ooh. I was saying, oh man, that's a lot of commentary that I missed out on. I was saying 7 mega chips is a little overkill, and I'm just wondering what that double point is going to be for. Is he going to use it on Groundman? Or is he going to use it for the mock gun? Or is he probably going to... Actually, he's going to use it for the risky hand, right?
We see that B-Banish combo. So we're going to see if SoulXCross is able to get that to connect. It can be a lot of damage, and especially vs Gregor, because if you time it well and get a counter hit with it, then that would be, I think, about 800-900 damage in one combo. So that combo can be very strong, and you can get it confirmed with the grab banish.
Good old B-Banish. Trying to see if we can actually see it in action, because the pulling up the combo is actually a lot more complicated than people might think. It isn't just using risky honey, just using grab banish. The timing's pretty tight.
Yeah, and it can also be denied by using defense like invis or anti-damage. So
anti-damage, life aura. There are a lot of ways to stop it. So you have to make sure when you use it that you're fairly sure that your opponent does not have the defense.
Alright, well, let's head right into the match and see how it goes.
Yes, hopefully my mic doesn't die on me again.
Yeah, that would be really unfortunate. Okay, so we see the break ground man, but
he has everything else too. But that blast man's gonna be good on grass.
Ooh. Yes, although Soul doesn't have that many grass chips, so he's unlikely to go into Tomahawk Cross, especially seeing that the Panzer are grass. That could still be good chunk damage.
Yeah, you generally want to avoid being decrossed, and especially getting damaged on top, getting double damage on top of a decross. We've already seen that a lot happen today so far.
It's really painful when it happens. Ooh, nice. Looks like Soul decided to go into Spout, so he probably was expecting Charge Cross to come out.
Oh no.
And the
erase the anti.
Yeah, so I think this might be a confirmed decross for... Ooh,
oh!
No! I should have just waited it out.
She may not be aware of the timing for that.
Still getting that decross.
Well, that's one invisible used.
So that breaks a few panels. What Wolfie decides to go for. So he's thinking about going to slash with that one area grab, or maybe going to Elect trying to get a D-cross. And he also has the defense to protect himself.
Yep, that's a lot of defense.
Okay, looks like that is the play. Elect Cross also has very strong charge cross anyway, so even without the D cross, it's a good option to go for.
Nope, sorry Rush, you just broke all your teeth on that barrier.
Ooh, nice time.
Oh!
That was very close. Oh wow.
That was not enough damage to get rid of that barrier.
Yeah, so I think what happened there is because the book has... So the way barriers work with them is that if something that hits you with a persistent hitbox...
All right.
Yeah, so that will instantly remove that barrier if you're invis. So a common example is Elect Charge Cross or Race Charge Cross. I think they can instantly remove barriers. but I think that was the first time I see a book from Judgment do that.
See, kids, this is why it's important to learn. Learning gets rid of barriers.
Now we see Beast Out, Geddon and Slow Gauge. So this can be a very rough turn for Soul if he doesn't have any shoes options, because the Gregor Buster doesn't seem like a lot, but it is actually very high DPS. Ooh, we see that Tango Cross, so that is going to protect him. So Geddon might be chip charged. Yeah, looks like that is the option that he's going for. Ah.
Unfortunately, yeah, that can't break last more.
So this is actually the only, with attack 5, the only beast out in Gregor that can't break life aura. All the other ones can, with a chip charge. I think like has 190.
Well, yeah, it's like just barely enough to not break it.
Soul ending the turn with the anti-damage. So I think Metalfi will probably take Windrak and Magnums. Though he is thinking about taking Recover 300, which is an interesting choice. I don't think he needs to worry that much about losing instantly. Okay, looks like that's the play he's going for.
Oh boy, this is 500. Ah, burning!
Ooh, and double point, so... Oh wow, nice! Is that going to fully avoid that though?
Yeah, it is. He's gonna blink before it happens.
Yeah, there it was. Ooh, very well played from Metal, avoiding bees with the beast jump.
Yes, and because he beast jumped, he forced him to activate anti-damage, which of course messed up his timing.
Okay, and we see that Q-Force in hand, but unfortunately no Gandalf, so this wouldn't be the full combo, but I think that's more than enough damage to finish off the game potentially if it all connects. Soul still has plenty of megas to come out this turn, so this is very much still anyone's game. Using Ground Man, I don't think we've seen Ground Man SP yet, so Ground Man SP can break panels and reduce the damage that Q-Force can do. Let's see. Actually, have we seen Slow Gauge come out already? I think we have. Because one of the things that Soul has in that folder is Fast Gauge, and only one of them. So that's one thing that he would want to wait out until after Slow Gauge. Ooh, Protoman SP is coming out, but this paralysis is going to stop that machine gun animation, and then leading up to Q-Force. There it is, and that will be, yeah, that's enough to finish off the game.
Yeah, Chrono Force just with that much area just does a lot. It does 180 per hit. I mean 180 per soldier, sorry.
Yeah.
180 per hit, jeez. That's too much.
That would be too much. Even with plus 30 and Beast over, you can't get to 180 per hit. Okay, so we're starting on grass panels again, but this time with cubes. So Soul might decide to go into SoulXCross.
Okay.
Okay, the Grandman is reconnecting, dealing some damage. Ooh. Both exchanging their barriers. Oh, nice timing from Soul, but he also lost his anti-damage, so that was about an even turn, all things considered.
It's always cool seeing a back and forth like that, right?
Yeah, it's really interesting how, like, even things like that. So in the Soul had 400 damage of potential attacks, or attacks with 400 damage potential, and Wolfie used his charge shots and they came out about even. So it's always about adapting to how the field starts and how you decide to play with the hand you're given.
I hope someone's gonna clean up that star that's just sitting there on the floor.
I mean, to be honest, I prefer the animation from the older games for anti-damage.
Of course, they were way cooler.
Ooh, let's see if that connects. Magnum can be very hard to land in lag.
There we go! I was waiting for something.
Ooh, no, that's going to miss.
Whew, that was close.
And then the mashing forcing the TFC. So that's one thing you need to be careful about when playing, is that sometimes you don't want to mash all the time, because it can TFC your chip when you don't really mean for that to happen.
That book went backwards!
And apparently that was a thing. I don't think I've seen that before.
I guess the book really does lock on. Yo, that book went all out, man. That's funny. We gotta show that off later. That's actually really funny. Back.
Ooh, and using an area grab as well. So, and another area grab. So this might.
Hub batch.
Yeah, so getting the lock on.
Oh, that was close. Getting frozen would have confirmed that. I wouldn't be that close.
Okay, that's good. Managed to remove the anti-damage before losing Invis. Because actually hitting a Tengu charge shot on anti-damage is confirmed to have the Invis connect.
It's kind of weird how we chose to get in close instead of doing back B. Very risky. Oh, they got very lucky they weren't slash anymore.
But all of these panels are going back and dealing, I think, 30 damage each?
No, it's 40. It's 20 for normal and 40 for the upgraded version.
Ooh, getting coming out from Soul, which is an interesting choice, because I guess that is one way to deny Q-Force.
Oh.
Or keep his...
Unfortunately, Erase Cross won't move when it's doing its charge shot, even with wind.
Yeah, I believe, I mean, the confirmed way is drag, which is a different thing from the wind that comes out from back B or from fan. Ooh, nice. That life
gonna hurt a bit. Don't let him sneeze on you! Achoo!
Yeah, with -1 area, that is very difficult to confirm.
Dang. Achoo! I always call that a sneeze.
Wolfie still doesn't have any immediate answer to life aura. He can go into beast out and try chip charging, but that might be a bit risky. It looks like he's deciding to wait for it. Ooh! D-cross by that wind rack.
And there goes that trap.
Okay, so interesting. Getting there can actually deny some freedom from Soul, because although he has air shields and can move freely, most navis don't spawn on broken panels. So by using Geddon, that is one way to counter navis.
Yeah, only very specific ones that float or fly, like Roll, Blastman, and does Base float?
I mean, yeah, I think Base does float, but unfortunately he's denied other ways by Hull, so...
That's true. Like, yeah, his attack is stopped by hulls. That's right. Alright, at least that good. If he didn't float, that'd be weird, because he doesn't walk. Oh yeah, navis who don't apparently float, like Heatman, apparently... Wait, does Heatman work on hulls too?
I don't think so, but I'm not sure.
It's weird, since the Navi himself doesn't float, apparently. When you use him, when Mr. Match is using him, he floats.
Okay, so that wind rack deals with that life aura, and then let's see if this connects. Nice.
Got him! Nice shot! Like Blastman here floats.
Ooh, Protoman does it.
Protoman fell down the hole! He's dead! He fell through the floor.
Unfortunate. We see these panels are getting fixed now, so yeah, looks like Beast out into Q-Force is going to come out. We might see that Gundel Force combo that we described at the start of the game.
Gundel Force, baby! It might have missed, but he's still getting his area back.
Yeah, and no defense coming out from Soul yet. Ah, that's unfortunate.
That would have gotten rid of the life bar.
Okay, that denies some of the area grab. No, don't step
Gundel Force!
Ah, there it is, and that will finish off the match.
Feel the power of the sun and bullets. Wow, that's actually pretty horrible if you think about it. You're getting shot and burned by the sun. Yeah, that's a horrible way to die. Oh my gosh. Your Battle Network is violent. I'm pretty sure our stream should be rated 18.
I mean, that is one of the things about Battle Networks, that at the end you just do it again and again and again, stuck in an endless loop, getting deleted to do it again.
Are we the bad guys? Oh man, that was fun. But we still got more fun up ahead. Remember, all these net battles are all played at the N1GP Discord. It's really easy to get set up, and it should take you at least like 20 minutes at the most to get all set up to play online. Just check out the link there if you ever want to join us for net battles. Yeah. Trust me, it's fun.
We have guides explaining everything, and people are more than happy to help.
And if I find out you don't join, I'm gonna send my Dark Chip army after you. But in the meantime, the next match is Symes versus Mars, both very famous players.
Indeed, so we've already seen Symes play, and this is, I believe, the first match we see of Mars this stream.
That is true, and it looks like yo, playerzero, stop stealing your folders, man. Like, everyone is just taking your ideas.
I mean, I'm more than happy to share, so I guess it works out in the end.
And also to answer Raycat, the meta isn't exactly as clear cut as just saying just use this and this and that. You just have to find out what works for you. Everyone has their own playstyle that works for them and may end up winning what was considered a powerful folder. In the end, there is no absolute 100% this will beat you every time folder. Every folder has their flaw. Every playstyle has their weakness. And the only way to find out on what that is just play. Play.
Yeah, and again, people are more than happy to give tips on how to improve, ways to improve your folder building. We have the strategies channel where people are more than welcome to post asking about tips, though that is exclusive to BN6, so because that's the main game we play.
Yes, like although there are some chips that are considered staple, if you find other chips that may be more useful to you in your situations, it may not be optimal for you to have them. So as I said, like I've been playing for 15 years, so so I have a lot of experience in what chips do, etc., etc. But in the end, just play, have fun, ask questions, get answers, get messy. If anyone got the reference. In any case, to check out this folder. Oh wait, didn't we see this folder already? It's the one. It has a yeah. We've seen this one. It's the one with the reflector.
Indeed.
Wait, Mars. Yo, both players are using playerzero. See, playerzero has been playing for a long time as well. So that's why there seem to be a lot of people picking his folders, because playerzero is pretty good. So when they see playerzero, they're like, oh man, I want to be just like playerzero when I grow up.
I mean, I wouldn't say that. Both of these players are really good as well, so it's going to be... Actually, it's really interesting for me because I'm seeing how other people pilot the folders that I made, how they decide to play with the ideas that I have. So that's... I mean, it's even more interesting for me to try to see these matchups and how they end up going.
Yep, that's the most fun. That's also the other fun thing about this format too. Like you playing your folder, you can only do so much. Having someone else play, you could possibly see a strategy that you might not have seen.
Yeah. Okay, so looking at the build that Mars has, so we see it's actually more of a typical B code build. So we see bubble stars, machine guns, fire hits, and boomer. So it's trying to use the 2x damage from Tomahawk with high boomers and the B banish combo, and then using fire chips like fire hit or blastman SP to deal more damage. It's very high on damage in general, and yeah, I think the Giga is her badge. So that's another potential way to maximize on damage using area grabs or trying to go with charge shots. But yeah, I think that's mostly it.
Yep, good old B folder. That's all I have to say on that. B. Well, I see, yeah, B and 1U and J. So yeah. Trying to see how this is gonna turn out. Right. Custom 7 versus custom 6. I mean custom 8. Yeah, he has that one has max custom and attack.
I think both of them have max custom.
Oh yeah, they do. It's right there. You're right. My bad. All right, so start up playerzero.
All right, let's head into the match.
Ow! I stubbed my toe. Oh, hold on. Oh no! Wait, you can't stop the game. Wow.
Ooh.
That's a good starting hand. He has all sorts of options right here, and he has the erasement. He has a risk method to possibly confirm any that uninstall.
So it looks like he might be going for more slower play with staying baseman, just taking that machine gun, try to remove any defense and protecting himself with his own anti-damage.
Okay, he's opting to only take the bare minimum.
Ooh, and we see Tomahawk Cross already, so we might be seeing 2x charges coming out very quickly from that.
Nope, he said nope to that. Ooh. Oh shoot!
Double points.
Oh no!
B banish will be coming out. Ah!
Yeah, yummy! Nope, he's not on the field.
So what Mars tried to do there is that he wanted to get an extra hit from these volcano panels, which shoots out an extra beehive and does more damage potentially, but unfortunately that was organized by the anti-damage.
Also, the fun fact is Risky Honey normally would not block a fire attack. Those lava panels don't count as fire apparently. Yeah. They're null damage. Which is, I think it's a balance change, because getting decrossed by that would stink.
Yeah. And unfortunately there isn't any way to actually make them, you just have to get lucky with them spawning on the field. Okay, so now we see that Symes is going for Dust Cross and then starting with that Heat Dragon. So he's probably going to go for the quick decross. Let's see if he's able to connect that. Nice!
Ooh, that burned! And because he got rushed, his blinking's gone.
Yeah,
well, yeah, Judgment would have pierced it anyway.
Now Mars might be deciding to go for Anger, and it looks like that was his play.
So whatever that is, it's ×2.
I think the only trap that Mars has is an anti-damage.
So ×2 anti-damage.
Okay, now Symes also ending with his own anti-damage. Let's see what chips he... okay, so he's throwing away the uninstall. He's probably waiting for Mars to use that Habash so he can remove all the parts that will be given by Habash. Ooh, and we see Element Man and Element Man SP, so Symes might try to go for Grass to set up for Element Man SP next turn. Symes there was trying to use the area grab to proc the anti-damage from Mars, but unfortunately that didn't quite work. Ooh, the lava panel ended up doing the job.
Well, he got him with that at least. He's gonna decross him and remove that trap.
Indeed,
that... Yeah?
No, so it's just saying the game is very close, but then the fire hit connected. Now Symes has the Anger.
Yeah, because that was a fire hit 2 on grass, which is 360 damage. If you're hit with with 300 or more, you can become angry automatically. Oh, for those unaware, anger status, your next chip is ×2, and you have super armor. So that is a way to get a kind of pseudo super armor.
Indeed, and you get it from you mentioned taking over 300 damage in one hit, or being paralyzed for 121 frames, or being flinched for a long time, which is the more rare one to happen. Okay, so it looks like Symes starting with an area grab and then going for that Neo Vary, so he might be going for the double life sword with the 2x. That would be massive damage. Ooh, and we see Tengu as well. Is he going to get it?
Oh, supersonic boom! That was ×4. And oh my gosh!
Wow. That
in the blink of an eye. See, this is Battle Network, man. In the blink of an eye, the match can change directions.
Ooh, Symes going again for that Knuckles finish. That's the third game we see him finish with Knuckles in this stream.
Yo, Symes using brass knuckles on these net battles, man. Just to give a breakdown what happened. Supersonic Boom is 240. He was angry, which was ×2, which made it 480, and that ×2 made it 960. So that was insanely powerful.
Ooh, nice.
He got hit twice by that.
Oh, wow.
Yo, that reflect, man. Going up. Oh, wow, here it comes. Nice,
so Symes got hit twice by the first Emboomer, then used his reflector to deny a bubble wrap, and we see now a second and Boomer coming his way.
Okay, Boomer.
I mean, look who's saying that. Ooh, Broken Crush, so that isn't going to paralyze because of the stats bug. Ooh, nice.
Although, because one book still spawned, he'll get the area back if he moves.
Ooh, double coin. No. Oh, grab banish will still work actually, so that wasn't the... Ooh, nice movement.
See, as we mentioned, the timing's very tight. Oh man, that's 480!
That's 2x elements of mana SP, and I think that area grab was used at the end of turn, I'm not really sure.
That was very impressive.
Ooh, and now we see that again, that Meteor Knuckles nearby. Is he going to go for it again? Looks like that's the play, though unfortunately he... Okay, so he is maybe going for that area grab for double life sword. Symes has a good number of options to take into this turn, so he's just trying to see which would be the best to go for. Okay, ooh, that missed.
He's waiting. He has to be careful.
Let's see, Symes is waiting to TFC's defense.
There you go. Oh, yeah. Yeah, okay. He at least did activate it.
Nice, getting that free defrost.
Yes, the problem with getting anti-damage, if you hit at someone else with anti-damage, it's too fast.
Ooh.
You can't dodge that second stun.
But obviously you have to lose your own anti-damage, so it's deciding between keeping your anti-damage or decrossing the opponent with it.
But that was still a very good choice.
Okay, let's see what it was. Okay, so that was an bonus, so that's going to miss. And Impus, I think that was a bit too early, so it wouldn't run out. Ooh,
Ah!
almost.
Yo, punched in the chin, man.
Okay, is he going for the freeze? No.
Oh no.
That might have been a missed input.
Yo, Brodo, man.
Okay, so this is going to be a very interesting choice. We'll see if Symes... Okay, he's going for it.
The madman is going for it!
So he can potentially finish off the game this time, but it's very risky going with no defense and with the low HP as well. Either side could finish off the game this time. So that's definitely going to be a very close one. Mars did get uninstalled, so okay, decided to stay in baseman.
Oh man, he's gonna get frozen.
Ah,
this time.
Yeah, that lag coming out on both sides. Ooh,
Oh no, that's 500!
But that will give anger. So that 2x coming out again, and that
Supersonic
TFC!
Knuckles!
Oh, what? That TFC again!
Yeah, I blinked and this is why I don't want to blink sometimes. He did ×2 Sonic Boom from that Blast Man, and then he got him with the TFC Knuckles.
Oh wow!
Yo, Symes, you should take a boxing after this.
I mean, you mean he should teach boxing after this? He's clearly on point with all of these knuckle connects.
Yeah, he's doing the jab, jab, hook, and uppercuts like that. It's just insane.
Yeah.
Yo, it's Symes, Meteor Knuckles, Symes. It's just ridiculous.
Yeah, that has been very well played from Symes, trying to get that timing on Mars, which unfortunately both times from us, he tried to use his defense, but it was a bit too early, and that gave the opportunity for Symes to TFC. If he just waited a bit longer for Symes to use his Meteor Knuckles first, then these games both could have been very different.
According to Mars, he says it would have been sad if we were able to see his hand. So his hand might have not been the best. Unfortunate, but it's okay, Mars. Like, I feel your pain about Meteor Knuckles. It hurts.
Yeah.
Speaking of Meta Wolf, the next match has him in it.
Okay, so the next match is Meta Wolfie vs Shadow.
Shadow.
I think this is the first game we see of Shadow this stream.
Yeah, like we haven't seen the J code, so it is indeed Shadow's first time. We see here that he's using Nero's folder, which does usually have J code. I'm used to Nero running J code.
Yeah, so this is going to be quite the folder to try to go through. So we see that Shadow has. So if we start by the Navicast, because that's also pretty interesting. So we see that has shuffle again, which usually you don't see often at all, but apparently people just getting shuffled this week. And we see these 4 attack plus, and the 5 Buster Up chips in his folder. So he is going for Buster Bug build.
Good old Buster Bug, man. But should I explain it?
Yeah, go for it.
Okay. As we mentioned earlier, we mentioned bugs earlier. We mentioned how having colored bug gives you a chance of being invisible, invincible, or confused or blind. But there's also a whole bunch of other type bugs like warp step that we've seen before. But there's one other one that we haven't discussed is the Buster bug. Basically, your Buster will be clogged sometimes, depending on how severe it is, but you also have a chance of firing a fully charged shot from a regular Buster shot. So the proc is dependent on your bug, on how high the level is. Correct, playerzero?
I think it's 1 in 8 for level 3, but I'm not really sure on the number. But yeah, that is correct.
Cool. Yeah, so you have a 1 in 8 chance of firing a fully charged shot instead of a Buster shot. So if you get lucky enough, imagine hitting 150 damage in 3 Buster shots because you procced it 3 times, and that's from 3 Buster shots. So the numbers go up even higher. In Shadow's case, he already has attack 5. He has 5 Buster ups, which will make his Buster 10.
Yeah.
So every charge shot will be 100. So getting hit with 100 damage like every 8 Buster shots, that adds up really quickly.
Yeah, and when using bug fix, that will remove the Buster chance for your Buster shot to misfire, and will keep the extra chance you get for a charge shot. So by using bug fix, so basically the main plan is to try to get out his Buster ups and using bug fix, which will mean that his normal Buster shots will fire every time and deal 10 damage each, so that can remove anti-damage, and his procced Buster shots can deal 100 damage each.
Yeah, that's another benefit to having 10 Buster, because the way anti-damage used to work in older games was that any sort of damage, no matter what it is, would activate anti-damage. But they changed it so that the amount of damage required is 10 damage. If you're doing less than 10 damage, anti-damage will not prompt.
Yeah.
So generally, in order to get rid of an opponent's anti-damage, you have to do a charge shot or a chip, or also an easy version, area grab. But with Buster 10, just shoot him. Bam. Like, it just saves the guesswork out of it. So here's gonna be a lot of fun. Like, we have not seen a Buster 10 build. So I'm excited. I'm very excited because he's also got poison seed.
Yeah.
Like Nair's folder is all about messing you up from every possible angle. From the ground, from poison seed to the pulses. Oh man, he's gonna be a lot of fun.
Yeah. So before we head into the match, I just want to explain. So we've described how the folder wants to work, but now we unfortunately have to go with the things the folder is missing, let's say. So we see, looking at his Navicast, he only has custom 5 and he has a reg chip, so he's going to be starting with 4 new chips. So that means less of a chance to get his bug fix or his buster ups. And then the other main thing is that his folder basically has no defense. He only has the Grab Revenge Sanctuary, the Life Orand Sanctuary, and anti-navi and anti-recovery, which don't really act as much of a defense.
That's true. It looks like this attack is pure power with very, very modest defense. Like, He does have the recoveries, but yeah. Although the good thing is that Meta Wolfie does have recovery 300, so that anti-recovery could proc. Considering that Meta Wolfie only has, looks like I see 3 magnums and a race man, so there is a like not that bad of a chance of getting an anti-recovery off.
Yeah, that could actually happen. Usually, so another thing is that because Shadow only has anti-recovery and anti-navi, it can be very easy for Meta Wolfie to know which one it is when as soon as it comes up, because if he uses an Navi and doesn't go away, then that means it has to be anti-recovery, and then he knows the other one by default. So if there was at least anti-element or anti-damage, something like that, anti-sword even, there could be some mind games trying to go on to confuse Meta Wolfie. But yeah, so another thing to point out is that Shadow, so the build that Nerth made has Groundman SP in G code and has uninstall, but the uninstall is in L code, and there is no other chip in L code. We see there is Machine Gun 2, Machine Gun 1, but G code has Machine Gun 2s, and uninstall is in G code as well. So these both could have been these both could have been in G code, but looks like Nerth decided to go with just Machine Gun Star.
I'm guessing it's because, Star can be selected with anything, so it's more for flow. Considering, if you see, he's already rocking a lot of codes in that folder. He has J, B, G, L, M, and U, and Z. So he probably went for that just to go with more flow. Like, having one more code in your folder would have been a little more cumbersome.
Yeah, that is true, but it's by doing that. So by doing that with G code, he already has one chip in G code. So having more of them will actually make it flow better. Because although he has a good number of codes, he also has chip shuffle, which can allow him to go through more easily. He has a lot of star code chips, like 5 buster ups. He can just take that and very much smooth his hand.
I can't say I agree with you, and you know what? We will settle this in a net battle later. But for now, we gotta see these two titans fight.
Alright, let's head into the match.
Time to see how this is gonna be. It's gonna be a lot of fun. I heard the invis sound, so.
Oh, that's a good point. So.
Well, yeah. At the start of matches, you can actually hear the invisible proc. So somebody has invisible right.
Yeah, and the only one that has a bug build is Shadow, so you know that Shadow has it. Though it can be very difficult to try to listen out for during the game, so I'm not sure if Meta Wolfie actually knows about it. But it looks like he is starting with slow gauge, so he probably does know.
Good old slow gauge.
Okay, so another thing to mention about chip shuffle is that going into dust is actually better than using chip shuffle, because the way shuffle works is that it's random, so you can get any chip in your hand, which can be good if you're looking for your Giga. because it doesn't normally appear as your first 10 chips. But it's actually worse if you're looking for a specific chip. Whereas SoulXCross just puts the chips that you throw into the back of your hand. So that makes it much more efficient.
That was close. See, this is why you pack an aura.
Ooh.
Could have been decrossed right there.
Yeah. I think Wolfie had the opportunity to TFC into that one, so I'm not really sure why he decided to keep that race, man. He says in chat that he couldn't mash it out in time, which is unfortunate. So that was probably some lag as well.
Alright, I guess everyone's just gonna wait.
Okay, so this isn't looking bad. Probably this turn we're going to see Wolfie deciding to go for Race Beast, because yeah, that also deals with the life aura and can potentially decross.
That is true. As we mentioned earlier, every Gregor Beast, except for Alec, can break life aura because they all do more than 200. Erase Beast especially is efficient because it locks on. Very powerful. Yeah, it's actually the strongest one in the game probably because it locks on, it pierces invis, and it removes traps.
Yeah, it is really strong. Oh yeah, and another thing that the build Shadow that Nerf's build is missing is that it doesn't have full cast, and full cast is really good in denying getting decrossed, which is very important for this build.
Can I confirm it? Oh, I think he mashed it right there.
Yeah, that might be the case. It might be. Ooh.
Oh, that would have been bad.
I was just going to say he might be waiting for that Q force, and there it is.
Yo, that gun! It's Gundel Force time.
And
check the clock.
Shadow has no defense, so that is way more than enough damage to finish off the game.
Yo, man, check the clock. It's Gundel Force time. I'm ready for this. My chair is ready for this. But is the chat ready for this? Is the big question.
I guess we're going to find out. Let's see if Shadow was ready for it. If he has recoveries, then he has a chance to survive. Or I guess Sanctuary is another option that could save him.
Yeah, because it's unlikely he can survive a full area Gundel Kernel Force along with Gundel Soul.
Yeah, he definitely. Yeah. That's interesting. Might be avoiding getting decrossed. Ooh, he doesn't. Yeah, he doesn't have anything. There it is.
Ah!
The game.
Gundel Force, man.
Oh,
It's a force to be reckoned with.
That is really rough. Shadow had few options that could have allowed him to survive, like that grab revenge, Sanctuary, maybe a recovery would have helped, but nothing came out that turn. And yeah, he's saying that he had nothing in hand.
Yeah, it's really hard to defend against Gundel Force if you really don't have anything against it. Funny thing, a good counter to a Kernel Force is Magnum.
Yeah, that is very good counter actually.
Bust her up. No rush, don't you break your teeth! I feel sorry for Rush every time he freaking breaks his teeth on those barriers. That hurts.
Ooh, looks like this time Shadow decided to stay in SoulXCross, which is probably the smart play. Ooh, and these poison panels, nice.
Gross. He tossed dirty water on that side of the field.
I mean, if it's water, then why doesn't it freeze?
Because it's dirty water. It's not regular water, it's dirty water.
And that is fair. I think dirty water has a lower melting point, so it's more difficult to freeze. So that makes sense.
That's funny.
Okay, so you see that beast out coming, and with these broken panels, Shadow might end up getting trapped because of them and having to take all of these buster shots.
Oh, that poison is doing its job. Meow.
Metal Wolf is waiting it out, which I'm not really sure why.
He could have moved for that judgment. Wait, but oh no, wait, only counts if it's invisible.
Ooh, and then the Sanctuary is coming out, so we might see SoulXCross, which is one of the better way to deny Sanctuary. And yeah, he has plenty of chips to try to chip charge. I think he might end up taking one Windrak at least, because he needs to keep the other one for that life orb, which might actually come out next turn. So I think taking one Windrak might be good.
You can never go on. Windrak is surprisingly good now, ever since it has the bonus of since Banana Work 6 gave Wind the ability to remove aura. Windrak just became amazing. Fast startup, and it has great range too. Achoo!
Ah, getting hit twice. Ooh, anti-navi. I guess that makes sense.
You.
Oh, it still has warp steps, so he isn't able to confirm that, unfortunately.
Oh boy. If he ends up doing the Beast Breath, that would give him an opportunity to counter.
Looks like he's deciding to go for that Magnum to break the panels instead of keeping his hand, which might be the better play. Or maybe he's going for both. Okay. I guess maybe starting with the Magnum might be better, because now Shadow is going to camp the back row for these holy panels, so at least he doesn't take the 2x damage from getting decrossed. Okay, Metal Wolf is just trying to think through the turn, see what he wants to take. Ooh, and we see Beast out, so as
Grass. Oh no? Oh no, yeah, I guess he just decided to just decross him now.
it's actually pretty interesting to see Beast out coming from Shadow, because Buster Bug doesn't work in Beast out. So now he's stuck in 3 turns of Beast out just to try to get his main win condition. He might have Destroy Pulse coming soon though, so that's something to watch out for.
Coming Road is an interesting choice.
Yeah, so I guess...
No, you go, yeah.
I was just saying that Coming Road is probably to try to lock the opponent into one place, but unfortunately it doesn't really work as often as you'd like to.
Yeah, that's the main reason why we don't see Coming Road and Going Road as often as we want to in that battles.
Okay, Eraseman's coming out, so I think Destroy Pulse will be after this. Let's see if this Magnum connects. It will remove all the... Nice.
There you go.
Ooh.
Oh, wow.
Okay, this is getting really close with the Magnum next in Metal Wolfie's hand. That's going to be a lot of damage. This is looking very rough for Shadow.
Should I get that last one?
Ooh, there it is. Okay, that will do some damage.
Yeah, you can only beast charge null chips. Like, Buster Up is a plus chip. So the chip itself has to be null.
Okay, so Metal Wolf is saying in chat that defaults that Magnum with max area always hits the end. So what he did there is that he left it time out for that confirmed position, which is very, very smart. Yeah.
Remind me to destroy him for that.
Ooh, you might have a hard time. Wolfie's been doing really well, so good luck with trying that.
Good point. Yeah, he's been pretty scary lately.
Ooh, we see Shadow going. Oh, nice. Okay, these recoveries are probably going to save him this turn. But he still needs to avoid all of these charge shots. Geddon's interesting there. Oh no, Shadow!
Oh! He was waiting! Okay, he was just waiting for the opportune moment. See, being patient pays off. I'm not usually that patient. He was very patient right there.
Yes, the one thing Shadow could have done is if he was standing on top of the broken panel when he had the air shoes, then he would have been able to move on broken panels even though he lost the air shoes until he steps off a broken panel. So at least that would have given him some freedom, but now he might be forced to cross into Tengu Cross.
Although it looks like he chosen not to, so he might be fine for this turn.
Or he could have a badge. There it is.
Oh, there it is.
Okay, let's see if he can get that damage. We're still in normal gauge, so it's going to be very difficult to try to get all that much damage. Ooh.
Okay, so that didn't trigger it, so that has to be anti-recovery.
Oh, that was very close. Shit, I didn't notice it because I kept thinking that might have been anti-damage. But Shadow almost got that on the recovery 300 that Wolfie used.
Dang shame.
And now we see that Q-Force again, though without Beast Out or Beast Over. I mean,
it's still gonna do a lot.
Yeah.
It's 9, 18, 27. Oh, never mind.
So,
actually, he stepped forward, so he still has the area.
Oh, he stepped back. Oh, nice. Using shield to block a few hits, so that will allow him to survive, but he's still very low on HP. The HP gap's very big.
Oh, Buster Proc. I saw that. That was 100 damage charge shot.
And now Wolfie only has one chip in hand and one chip in his custom, which is the
Magnum.
Magnum, yeah.
Which is good because, well, that trap isn't gonna do anything anymore.
But Magnum is still good damage. Although that being said, Shadow is down by 1000 HP still, so getting all these hits. And still no slow gauge, which is going to be pretty unfortunate for Shadow. He wants to try to get in these buster procs.
It's honestly a tough situation to be out of chips. That's never fun, honestly.
Yeah. I think actually at this point it might be better for Wolfie to try to to use his charge shots instead of buster shots, because he doesn't have buster bugs, so he's only going to be firing the 5 damage buster shots.
Turns always matter.
I mean, we still haven't seen. Okay, so that could be Destroy Pulse, which I was about to mention. There it is. But now Shadow is going to go down to 1 HP because of that very tired state next turn.
Yep, he's very tired.
And we see that Magnum, so if he can just land that, then that will be game. Ooh. Ah, and yeah.
Oh! He was on the front, so it actually didn't stop him.
Wait, why didn't that... Shouldn't Shadow have been at 1 HP?
No, there you go.
Okay, there it is.
He had enough HP to survive that Magnum. Remember, the Magnum was not boosted.
Okay.
That was very close. If he was not in the front panel, or if he did it the panel in front of him, that would have stopped that ground man.
Yeah, I mean, at the end there, Wolfie had 60 HP, so 5 normal Buster Shots or 1 proc Buster Shot would have been game. So that was definitely very, very close.
That was so close that it should be illegal.
Yeah,
But thankfully it's not. So that was a lot of fun. Woo!
yeah, that was a lot of fun. And again, that was still a very rough matchup for Shadow. He didn't really have. So I've been instructed to mention that Shadow decided to go with this folder because his other option was a Bug the Thunder folder, and he decided to go to keep uh, to keep his morality and go against Bug the Thunder, even if it meant he has to use this.
Yes, using Bug Death Thunder is not for the faint of heart. I don't blame him.
But yeah,
Don't worry,
those
people. We still have some more matches.
we do indeed, and heading into the next match, which will be Salad vs Mars. Okay.
Salad. This is the first match with Salad, right?
Yeah, and we again see that chip shuffle coming up. So looking at her build, she has so we also see these 5 buster ups again. But this time she's running it, so it's a build that Disco made for cycle 4, and it has few other options. So we do see defense, 3 anti-damage, 3 invis, we see that full cost rigged. Though interesting tick, we see Ice Seed and Fan. That's actually a very interesting decision to try to go for, because the way I believe that Disco's wants it to work is he's planning to go for to throw the Ice Seed and then place that Fan in the middle where your opponent isn't able to center themselves, and that Fan and Ice Seed is going to limit their movement a lot, which makes it much easier for these Buster Shots to land.
Also, one thing that most people are not aware of, Fan, although it's not as, say, fast as Winrack, it actually has pretty good utility since Fan can block, say, Proto Man.
Yeah.
It can be used to protect you from anything that would attack you in front. So it can also get people behind objects. That's something that Winrack cannot do.
Yeah, I mean, it can block Proto Man SP and that Blast Man SP that we see Mars is running. So that's going to be very interesting to see if Salad ends up doing something like that. Obviously, you'll need to have the perfect chip in your hand, but that's something to watch out for. Well, so one thing to mention for this matchup is that the B code that Mars is running, we've already seen that it can be very high on damage, can do a lot of damage very quickly, whereas the build that Salad's going for actually is going for the late game. So you see that these 2 slow gauges, so Salad really wants to keep that slow gauge on the field, and at the beginning she's going to be digging to find her bug fix, to find these buster ups. So that's the point where Mars needs to try to start very explosive game and try to take control from it from the beginning.
It's gonna be interesting seeing Salad using Disco's folder, since Disco's been playing just as long as I have.
Yeah.
And he's like, if anyone's a veteran, it's him. So it's gonna be interesting to see how Salad is beating Disco. So I'm really curious, really hyped to see Mars and Salad fight, since they're both really cool people. And it's always fun to see best friends fight to the death.
All right. Well, let's take a look at how that looks like.
Yes.
Okay, so we're starting with the crack palms. Ooh, and already 3 buster ups and the slow gauge at the starting hand. What a start!
You can't ask for anything better than that.
I mean, we'll see. Okay, so if she got bug fixed, that would have been like the literal perfect hand. But she still has that full cast, so she's probably going to use all of these buster ups in Viz to trigger that rush and then go straight into the next turn. Ooh, neither of them decided to cross. And there it is. Though I'm not really sure if that was the order that Salad wanted to take with the full cast. Looks like she is holding on to the full cast, so yeah. Okay, and she still has the anger, so she might get something.
Bug fix!
Ooh, and that's the turn 2 bug fix and the last buster up. This is actually a perfect start for Salad. Okay, so she decided to go straight into the okay, take it to the next turn to see, use the anti-damage, yeah, and see more chips. Okay, chip shuffling, ooh, only in this as defense. So Mars there might decide to go for another area grab and try to lock Salad down with his charge shots, but he only has charge 2 and attack 1. So if he doesn't get hub badge, then that wouldn't be really that much DPS. Ooh, see that machine gun?
Watch out!
Ooh, nice. Getting that 2x elements, man. Probably for Prix, yeah. Hey.
Yo, that buster proc, man.
There it is.
Yeah.
Nice.
Buster 10 is a lot of fun for a guy like me who loves firing the buster.
Yeah. So buster proc is basically the way that buster bug works is that there is a chance for it to misfire, but that also adds the chance to fire a max damage buster shot. Buster shot. So Salad uses buster ups to make her normal attack 10, so that means there is a chance to fire 100 damage buster shot.
100 damage adds up, man.
Ooh.
Going long.
Ooh, nice. Though unfortunately that will deny the... Actually, is it? No, it didn't! Ooh, that's very big.
That was good timing. That was some crazy timing.
Though unfortunately that Elements Man will come out straight away. Ooh, okay.
Oh, times 2 damage right there. Hey, there's the buster up.
And I believe that's the last buster up for Salad. But looking at their HP, the game is still very close between them. Although that being said, Mars did start with 400 extra HP, so that damage is really starting to add up. And now slow gauge Salad, I think we still haven't seen slow gauge come out. Ooh, that connected. Mars is just waiting it out as long as possible so he can try to maximize the time that Salad's bubble and reduce the time that he gets hit. Ooh, a bit too early, unfortunately. And yeah, that completely misses. And interestingly enough, that doesn't even remove the bubble wrap, because at that point, because Salad was during the anti-damage animation, it technically counts as if she's off the field and doesn't have a hitbox, so that just go through.
Yeah, it's always funny to see that, since not being on the field makes you the game cannot lock on to a target that's not on the field because there's no target.
Yeah. But it goes in with that back B. Ooh, the raceman is going to deny that machine gun. Yeah. And so going for these buster shots. Let's see if she gets any. Ooh,
yeah,
that's two of them. 200, 300 damage. 400. Ooh. And the abyss coming out.
And that's all from Buster Shots.
Yeah, I mean, that was almost as much damage as a Giga. So it's definitely a very good chip combo to go for. Though again, as I've mentioned during setup discussion, it can be very slow to start with while you're looking for your buster ups. So that's the main drawback for it. Which obviously didn't matter this game because Solid had the perfect luck and getting buster ups and that bug fix very quickly.
Yeah, that was some good luck right there.
Ooh. Nice. And Riscani. So Mars only has one Riscani, so that means we aren't going to be seeing the B banish. And Bs are actually a very good way to deny Buster Bug because your opponent will want to hit you, so if you time it well, you can get extra beehives and defend yourself. Okay, so looking now, Salad's deciding to go for more defensive turn, taking some recoveries, trying to bring her HP up.
Yeah, even though the health difference is minor, as we've seen before, that can change in an instant.
Indeed, yeah.
Whoop, whoop.
Okay, area grab, so now Mars going to be trying to exchange some DPS, but unfortunately these buster shots, ooh, that life are nice. I don't think she has a wind rack this turn, yeah. Nice. Good use with shield.
Yeah, it's so slow that you can generally time it.
Yeah, unfortunately, ooh, nice, that will remove the anti-damage. Unfortunately, it also doesn't have that much damage because I think her badge still didn't come out. But now Solid's going into Tengu and she has plenty of defense, so I doubt she's going to get decross, especially because she's worried about that Proto-Man SP. So she's going to be camping onto her barrier.
It's a good thing that the Buster 10 will...
Ooh! Okay, and
even though that hit, that Buster damage was just too much.
Okay, so now we're going to game 2 and we're starting with grass panels and these guardian fields. So the grass panel start is actually pretty good for Mars because again he's trying to use fire into grass combos and that's the grass field that he needs. And we see...
No, go again.
No, I was just saying that we see that bug fix coming out turn 1 again.
Yo, turn 1 bug fix is very, very lucky.
Ooh, nice. 500 damage. So now Sald has the anger. So let's see how she might end up deciding to go for it.
No. Buster proc.
Oh, double hit. And
a rock to the face. Let's rock, man. Get it? Rock, man?
I mean, it was a guardian, so... Bad pun.
Darn, you're right. It was a guardian. No! It doesn't work in this situation. I'm sad. That's okay, because all these battles will make me smile.
Indeed, and if you were Sald, you would be smiling because now we see more buster ups and that full cast, which is probably going to mash through all of her chips. Okay, barrier 200 coming out for some defense, And yeah, that is the full cost.
Yep. Full cost is the best way to make a turn fly by.
Yeah, so that being said, Mars is in Dust Cross, so that will also be good for him, allows him to smooth his folder, but obviously he doesn't have anything in particular to dig for.
That is true. Using full cost does help the opponent too.
Oh, Sal's holding on to that invis, so she might be going for an anger play. Oh, we see all of that damage coming out. Oh, Firehead. That missed. Wait, why did that miss?
That was a weird interaction.
I think that completely didn't spawn. Okay.
Yeah, that was pretty peculiar. Well, like, it's amazing. After all these years, you still see weird interactions in this game. That's kind of hard to explain.
Yeah, I mean, the only thing that I can think about is that sometimes when you're moving between panels, there is like 1 or 2 frames where you're technically between them, so you're on neither of the panels, or on both, you could say. I think, yeah, I don't know.
Probably. Well, we'd have to find more information on how that is.
Ooh, that was actually an unfortunate TFC for Mars, because now he's going to be decrossed by the anti-damage, and then Sald has that erasement. Okay, but Sald has these recoveries. She needs to survive to get them out. Judgment paralyzes for a bit longer, so yeah. And he has anger through the combined paralysis. Ooh, barely surviving that. And then, oh wow. Ooh, that was really unfortunate sequence for Mars, and now his HP is going down very quickly. He's down to 200 HP. Salad's ahead.
Salad has so much defense that look at that bubble wrap, 2 invises.
Yeah, and they're all on coach. You can take the grab revenge as well for some damage. And yeah, looks like that is the play. And she's already seen that Blast Man SP, which, though I guess Proto Man SP will bring her down to 6 HP, so that is still very risky as well. Okay, she's going into Tengu to back B if Mars has the barrier or aura. Ooh, okay. But no, she's going to probably exchange anti-damage. Or maybe not, okay. That was the first one. Grab revenge and another trap. Okay, using defense again. And now she has another. Ooh! He's protected him. He has nothing. Oh.
2 procs in a row!
Yeah, and that was really unfortunate. Sol just had all that defense that turn, and Mars unfortunately wasn't able to deal with all of that pressure coming out, especially with how low his HP was at that point.
I never have good luck with the Buster proc, but I feel like Salad knows about the procs.
I mean, Salad definitely knows something with that, like getting all of these buster ups and immediate bug fix. But that was a very close and really fun match, so well played to both sides.
Yes, but as usual, all fun things must come to an end. We're getting very close to the end of our stream today.
Indeed, so we have our second to last match, which will be Shadow vs playerzero.
playerzero.
This playerzero, he kept getting his folders for people to play, and
I know, it makes me angry. Well, I just realized this is your first time in here.
that is my first game in the stream.
And apparently you're using Try's folder.
I am, yeah. So that was from New Moon 2020 Cycle 3, so that wasn't too long ago.
I'm seeing a lot of V's in here.
Yeah, so if we try to go through that folder a bit, so it looks like it was mostly V-code folder, which has the benefit of getting that Bubble Star 2 into Dull Thunder 3, has Super Vulcan, and Try decided to go for the attack plus 30 and these 2 white capsules. We also see Vidal, which is a very interesting choice. I'm not really sure why that's there. I guess it can be used to try to bait the opponents into stepping forward or into stepping underneath the that bubble start to try to get a confirm. But unfortunately, with Erase Man being the only way to decross dust, it's not really that effective, because if your opponent goes into Dust Cross, they can use back B while it's mid-air while you're throwing it, so, and you don't even have the chance to react to that.
Yeah, not often we see V-code in general, just because the chips themselves aren't. Well, there aren't a lot of combos you can do with V-code. It's still funny how out of all the chips, Vidal is an asterisk. That makes me laugh. But we see that Try's Navi Customizer is Charge Max, Attack Max.
Yeah.
So we're going to see a lot of Buster power here. But he also has Rush to stop those pesky invisible users. But only 1500 HP, so hopefully all that support will help even out the damage.
Yeah, so it's going to be interesting, because having Attack Max in Falzar usually means you want to have area grabs, because 2 of your crosses really want to have area grabs, especially Tengu will want +2 area. But this folder only has 2 area grabs. Although that being said, Shadow doesn't have any area grabs, so even these 2 area grabs might be enough to try to apply some pressure on Shadow.
We're just gonna have to see how this plays out, since it's Shadow we're talking about. So
indeed, let's head right into the match.
Yes, because I broke my hand doing it.
Okay, so we see him start with that chip shuffle and getting 1 Buster up. Unfortunately, not everyone has that solid luck. And he does have that turn 1 anti-navi though, so anti-navi is best, so it's 2-sided coin where you can, or double-edged sword is more accurate I guess, where you can make yourself lose chips because of it, but it's also good in denying your opponent's chips.
And also, it's also good if you suspect your opponent has anti-navi, so you can force their anti-navi to make your anti-navi activate.
Yeah, indeed. And we see that starting on these grass panels with boulders, but Shadow decided to stay in basement and keep that shuffle instead of going for Dust Cross.
No, Rush, don't! Poor Rush. He's barely been able to actually attack.
Ooh, okay, so that was enough to remove that barrier, and then that Grandman will get 1 hit at least. Unfortunately, because of the boulders, there was no way to hit him twice. Ooh!
Oh, Thunder! If he gets the Thunder, he'll decross it. Yep!
That is a free decross on spot.
Ow.
Oh, nice. We see that Hibachi already, which is good time to get it. And yeah, looks like he's looking for his other chips. Ooh, but no bug fix, no other Buster ups.
Well, they're still pretty good. He got his gig of second turn, which is actually pretty nice.
Yeah, though, to be honest, in this matchup, it doesn't really add that much, because he already has attack max. There is nothing that can break panels, so it's just there for shield, I guess, which is useful. I have to say that.
Hibachi is always useful.
Ooh.
Oh, probably should have got rid of the boulders first.
Oh
Nope,
yeah.
But now books.
Honor Knight has a very good point, is that it gives custom 8, which is actually really important. So that is a very good point. I forgot about.
Honor Knight said that?
Yeah.
Okay, my chat must have got frozen because it apparently hasn't been updated for like 20 minutes.
Ooh, you've been missing out.
I was wondering why I felt like there wasn't anyone talking. Like, oh, did everyone fall asleep? Oh, that's fine. I did get a copy.
Uninstall instantly. And the bug fix coming out. Ooh, but then LifeR is going to deny it. And then anti-damage. So in this matchup, anti-damage doesn't really do as much because Shadow can just use his buster shots to remove that. So it's probably better to use that early in the game or use that as TFC if late game.
Yeah, then anti-damage becomes less useful at 10 buster, like way less useful. Well, I guess it can be used for TFC, but that's pretty much it.
Ooh.
Ah! Yo, we're grounded to dust, man.
Can we see that slow gauge in Shadow's hand, so he probably is going to go for it, try to get the maximum value. Ooh, he shuffled it away, interesting.
He's probably gonna save it for later, but at least he has that buster up, which we were trying to get. It might be a little too early for that recovery, I think. But
I mean, the folder that I used had no way of getting any recovery, so it doesn't really matter as much. Ooh, though that 2x Dolph Thunder does matter a lot, dealing a lot of damage there. And he's coming out!
He added even more bees! Ouch! You know, I would be pretty angry too if I got stung by endless bees.
Yeah, I mean, bees especially hurt buster up folders because, as I've mentioned before, you can just wait for your opponent to try to land their buster shots, and then you just use it and you get maximum hits basically. And a lot of protection from it, so it's pretty strong in this matchup. And we see the HP difference, though Shadow still has that 2x, so that can very easily be reversed.
It just hurts seeing a buster folder just getting risky, honey, because that happens to me a few times. Oh no! Oh, that was close.
That would have been game, yeah.
Yeah, that would have been GG. Poison! Oh my gosh, those procs are coming.
Doing over 300 damage that one turn. And we see that beast out, I mean, so it might be going for Destroy Pulse, which is 400 damage.
No, wait, that's not the combination for Destroy Pulse?
Oh,
no.
yeah.
No, that's 3-1. It's 1-2-3. Don't do it.
Ooh, that's going. Is he going to not star?
Okay, there you go. 1. No, 2, 3. There you go. You gave me a heart attack. Program Advance. Destroy Pulse.
So it looks like Shadow in chat is saying that he wanted to use them separately. He was just thinking about if it could do more damage. Very interesting.
It would do more damage if you had
a
cross. Oh, wait, times 2? Oh wait, he's still invisible.
Yeah.
Right.
And then the Erase Man, I think that will be more than enough to finish off the game, especially with the poison panels and attack 5 beast out.
If he was vulnerable, that would have got him down to 1. But he was still invisible when he threw that. But yo, so, it's those Buster procs, man. Those add up so dang fast.
Yeah, there was over 500 HP lead, and then they all just went away. And obviously that destroy pulse does help a lot.
Yo, I'm seeing poison doing a lot of work now.
And yeah, poison definitely adds up, especially in slow gauge. Okay, we see Shadow deciding to keep that life aura in hand, but going for his other defense in anti-navi.
Blind. Oh. Yep, that's the Judge Man. Yep.
That's the Judge Man getting a 3D cross on spot again.
He said, no, you. Wow, a double Judge Man? Yo, he's been judged way too much, man.
Though I don't think that was enough. Oh, it was enough to give anger.
Weird. Oh yeah, he can't beat that with that many.
But we do see that destroy pulse, so if he goes that straight away, then he's going to be able to waste the anger, because obviously anger doesn't stack. So if I don't use any chips straight away, then I'm losing that first anger, which is unfortunate. Ooh, he went for it straight away, yeah.
Oh, he pulled it
off!
He pulled it off! Anger V-Doll! I think that's the most damage I've seen a V-Doll handle. Like, in an actual net battle. Like, V-Doll's barely used. Great combo, man.
Okay, now we see that shuffle coming out, and recovery, buster up, and the machine gun. And obviously that HP bug, do you want to explain the bugs that Destroy Pulse gives?
Yeah, the Destroy Pulse is nasty. Not only does it paralyze you, it goes through status guard. That's how powerful of a paralyze it is. It goes through status guard, it gives you blind, it gives you regular HP, battle HP bug, and it gives you custom HP bug, where your HP goes down even in a custom sprint. So it's really nasty all over, and the blind it gives you lasts a very long time. Although, although if you have not gone into Tomahawk yet, the blind can be removed. Okay, the blind can be removed if you have not if you are not in Tomahawk. If you already are in Tomahawk, you are out of luck. That blind lasts for a good long time. The short pulse is just devastating all around.
Yeah, and now we see that Shadow has that custom bug is starting to take in, which is why he has one less chip in hand. But he does have that bug fix, which is very well timed, so he's going to go back to 5 custom next turn. Ooh, that was unfortunate. He went into Grabman just to get deep crossed. But that grab revenge is doing good damage. Is that going to connect? It is. Shadow going down to 3 HP. It's going to be very difficult to try to avoid Beast Buster. Ooh, that was very close.
Yeah, the Feather Buster is pretty hard to avoid. That was really close.
Yeah, it really was. If Shadow was able to get in a bit more damage, then that would have been game. And now we see that turn 1 bug fix and slow gauge, so that's actually a pretty nice start for Shadow.
Turn 1 bug fix never happens to me. I'm very jealous. No Rush! No, Rush has not learned his lesson, man. Stop biting on people with a barrier.
That poor Rush hasn't been doing that much this match.
That proc, man. Proc man. Proc man battle network.
Ooh.
Ah! Both chips unfortunately missed.
And now we see Habbat, which is very nice to get this early.
These games have been pretty good I've been really good all around, man.
Yeah, I mean, this game's very close so far. It's only 10 HP difference, so it's definitely going to be a very close game, at least from the beginning. Ooh, all these buster ups.
Is he gonna get in the way? Ah! Ouch!
And just barely stepped under that V-dodge. I think he's at Buster 8 now, so it's not quite full. He still has 2 Buster Ups to look for. That's one of them.
Yep, it's still that's still adding up though. It's amazing how much of a difference that kind of Buster does. Like you wouldn't think you wouldn't think an extra 3 damage to your Buster would be a big difference, but it does add up really fast.
Yeah. Sanctuary is coming out. Ah, that was an unfortunate. The air grab should have waited just a bit more to deny. To get a bit more of the Sanctuary.
Fortunately, that charge shot is really easy to dodge. It was way faster than Network 5.
Ooh.
That would have worked in Battle Network 4.
Yeah.
Oh! What?
Yeah.
Oh, the hole! Oh, permanent holes suck!
Permahold's a very bad counter for base anomaly.
Yo, that stinks, man. I'm sorry, playerzero. That hurt my soul.
I mean, it's good that Soul isn't here because seeing base just getting thrown away like that.
Yeah, he would have probably killed us by now.
Ooh, and looks like Shadow might be going for the uninstall and then panel coming broad to get that lock in. See if he managed to do that. Barely, yeah.
No, the books fell down the hole.
And the life orb. That is unfortunate because now he had that machine gun uninstalled.
I mean, he still has a chance.
But these holy pans are unfortunately getting destroyed. Only one's left.
Sorry, race man.
Ooh, and we see that destroy pulse. He might be going for it.
Nah, it's probably best to get rid of that life aura first. It's a little too risky to do it all in the same turn. Not to mention, he still has playerzero still has an anti up there too.
Yeah, that's a really good point. Although there are no more sword chips that he should be worried of, so
still can't be too careful. Oh wait, it's gonna hit him twice! Bang!
Nice, but at least he isn't going to get decrossed by the anti-damage.
Oh right.
I mean, it was more damage to... Actually, a bit less damage, taking the beat orange. Ooh, nice movement.
Scrap Reborn. Or something like that. I forgot the name of that one.
Okay, looks like Shadow might be going for that immediate destroy pulse. It should be confirmed, though. That being said, I think the game might have been a bit laggy, so a step back could mean he misses that destroy pulse completely and even more behind.
Man, this match is getting so heated. There we go. Remember, folks, stay hydrated. Especially if you're net battling. Stay hydrated. Oh.
Looking at the field, if Shadow is able to land that destroy pulse, it's going to be looking very good for him, because we are still in slow gauge and doing 400 damage and blind will make it much more difficult to avoid these buster shots. So that's also a good way of dealing damage and to confirm other damage. Ooh, it looks like he connected. Ooh!
Oh! So many bees!
And the bees coming out.
Oh!
And finishing off that game.
Yo! Too many buts. See, that's the one. Risky Honey is the one check to I can't. My words are messed up. I am just so astounded. Wow. Yo. playerzero, you cheater. Using bees.
Yeah, that was really close. So on my end, that was I got that blind from Destroy Pulse, and I had no idea how much HP that would deal to Shadow. So I just had to buster there and hope that would be enough damage, and then apparently it was. So that was a lot scarier from my point of view.
That is true. Especially considering how you were blind.
Yeah.
Oh boy, man. For a semi-final match, that was incredible. But now we're on to the final match.
Indeed, which will be Meta Wolfie vs Mars.
Meta Mars versus Wolfie. Yes. I'm just kidding. Oh man. For a quick primer, Mars is using playerzero again?
playerzero again.
Yes, Mars is going to be using a B folder. That also has custom 3 and rush and super armor. While Meta Wolfie is using Rose's folder, which has attack max, charge max, super armor, custom 6, 1500 HP, and air shoes. Air shoes and Gregor is really important.
Yeah.
And of course, Gundel Force will probably make a return in this match.
Indeed, so I think this matchup is going to be very interesting. B code's actually, in my opinion, pretty good code against just normal Falzar, normal Gregor, because as Gregor you're trying to get in a lot of damage through your buster shots, trying to control the pace of the game, but then B code also has a lot of damage, is also able to control the pace of the game, but also has a lot of ways to decross some of the main crosses that Gregor would go for, like having Bubble Stars or the Bees or Windrags. So it's going to be a pretty even matchup, I think, and going to be very explosive from both sides. So make sure to just be paying attention throughout the whole match, because I have a feeling that a lot will be happening.
Yeah, like the main thing about B also, B has a lot of combos.
Yeah.
Like B has Boomer into, Boomer into Fire Hit, and it also has Mach Gun. There are a lot of elements in B code.
Yeah.
So B code used to be it was very common back then, because B code pretty much had everything people thought they had. But since then, it's still pretty good, but it isn't like the de facto best that people thought it was. So it's honestly how Mars, a veteran player, handles it.
Yeah, I mean, it's not the best because there is no best. All the folders are good if you can play them well. So it will both definitely depend on how the matchup looks like, but also how these players decide to navigate through their builds and how they decide to go through their options.
I am so hyped.
All right, let's head. Go for it.
Sorry, I gotta say, because it's the last one. Last operation. Set.
Execute.
Yes. Oh my god, it's gonna be so hype.
Okay, so that was a quick turn one on the custom. And Meta Wolfie deciding to go for the heat cross, which might be a bit risky because all of these ice panels could mean that Mars goes into spout cross, or could actually mean he goes into tomahawk cross. It looks like he did neither. He went into charge, which is very unusual. I mean, he went into ground. Yeah, that gets free confirm on that one.
Boom. No, Rush! You down, boy! Oh, darn it, he's gotta be trained better. Whoa, yo, in your face, man.
Ooh, unfortunate that Bubble Star misses. Though at least this Element Man will deal with that barrier 100.
That's 180 damage right there, be careful.
Ooh.
Oh, boy.
Yeah, so unfortunately that wasn't lined up. If you managed to line up on grass, then we'd have had that 2x damage Blastman SP.
Yeah, but Blastman is a very good overall chip since you can use it on holes and it travels the whole field. You have to actually be hiding behind something to avoid it.
And it can destroy back row objects, so it also has some utility going on for it. Ooh, going into erase this turn and very well played from Shadow, waiting out his life aura, so now that wind drop.
He walked into it at the last second.
And that fire hit misses. And this isn't the ideal position to end the turn in, though it looks like Meta Wolfie doesn't have much to punish it on. So he might be going into Erase Beast.
playerzero said, you never want to be in the middle.
Did I say that?
Yeah, like, did you just say that being in the exact middle is not ideal?
Oh, so I was just thinking that position he could have been punished by Erase Man or Judge Man.
Yeah, it's not really a good place to be. Ah!
These extra hits from the charge shots are really adding up.
Yeah, the main thing about that charge shot is that it pierces invisible. So although it's not cursor element, it's null element. So
yeah,
getting hit by it will not remove the trap, but it will activate it. Well, it'll activate anti-damage, but traps will not be removed by it.
Yeah, that is very good to point out. And
yeah.
So I was just saying, it's the only cross that doesn't have the element of. It's the only charge shot that doesn't have the element of its cross.
Yeah, it's weird. I'm guessing they did that for balance changes.
Yeah.
If they made a cursor, it might have been a little too strong.
Yeah, definitely.
It already pierces it already pierces invisible, which is already pretty tough. But let me ask you, would it be stronger if it did not pierce invisible, but it's still, but if it was pressure element?
That is a good question. I think so. It's an interesting dynamic because if your opponent uses invis, you can use your charge shot to remove their invis and then use the cursor chip to deal with their trap. Whereas if it didn't remove invis, cursor chips and the charge shot would be blocked by invis.
Ooh.
Barely connects. Looks like he's chip charging. Ooh.
Oh!
Both.
Oh, they both missed.
And we see that double point, so we might be seeing NSMBs. Looks like no. But we do see that recovery, and he does have few null chips that he could take, like the anti-damage and the area grab. So might stay in a race to try to get that 2x damage.
Just saying, that kind of area on the bottom is an ideal position for Meteor Knuckles, right?
Yeah, that's one of the ideal positions because there's only two panels, only one panel around the player, so that means guaranteed 800 damage from Knuckles if it connects.
A lot of damage. Uh-oh.
Oh, unfortunate. The grab banish was too early, so these bees. Oh, still connected. Okay. Oh no.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah.
And it still pierces. Can he get it with it?
Ooh.
Oh!
The
Oh,
very quick mashing.
That was some mashing right there, man.
That would have been 800 damage. Right there.
That mashing would have made the perfect potatoes. That's how great it was.
Ooh, this is the last beast out turn, so it's really tempting to go for that Q force to get that plus 30. But he also has recoveries and his HP starting to look a bit low, so yeah, he's deciding to go for that. So we might be seeing Q force beast over.
Yeah, that must have been a very tough choice to pick.
Ooh, Raceman coming out. Let's see if Mars is able to combo 600 damage before the recovery. Oh, doesn't look like it.
That was close. He hit him with the fire hit on grass, which again is 360 damage.
Ooh, nice move. Avoiding that bubble. Obviously, exchanging buster shots with Gregor Beast isn't ideal.
Yeah, that buster's way too fast.
Especially with Mars being attack 1.
Yeah, I was gonna say like that. The exception is if the buster isn't that strong. But yeah, but Buster 5, Gregor Buster, you do not want to trade that.
Ooh, looks like Wolfie is thinking about going into Heat Cross. He doesn't want to risk going into Cross and getting decrossed by a 2x M-Boomer, or is it a high boomer? But he does have some defense and he wants to end with an area grab, so hopefully next time he can do the Q-Force play.
Oh boy.
Ooh. This area is going to confirm M-Boomers to connect. There it is. And I think I saw a fire hit come out. So let's see if that's going to connect. Oh, that was a wind trap. Oh, getting decrossed, going down to 1 HP. And
Burn!
yeah, Buster Shot finishing off the game.
That was kind of painful. Gotta stay hydrated.
Indeed, and now we're going into game 2. We see that Wolfie has 2 pieces of his perfect combo. But for now, they're going to be basically dead weight. He doesn't really want to get them that early.
Yeah, like the bad thing about Gundam Force is the setup, and if you get it at the beginning of the game, it's just holding you back. Like it's really annoying to get a good combo that you need, but you only get part of it at the start of the game.
Yeah, and this time it looks like he decided to go into a race instead of going into charge cross, so he won't be getting that +1 custom. Ooh, balls start connecting into double point. He could have used the Magnum to deny that double point.
Ah.
And then the grab banish, so that was a full B banish combo, although it didn't get any extra hives. That was still a lot of damage, almost 1000 damage from turn 1.
That hurt. You got him with the ground, man. Rock, man, rock. Well, this stinks. Again, yeah, he's gonna go charge to have that one more custom, because he just has those 2 so early in the game.
Yeah, and it looks like I'm not sure about taking Geddon, because it's very likely that Mars is going to beast out or going to Tengu because of these broken panels anyway. So going... Ooh, he didn't. Interesting.
Nom. Unfortunately, it doesn't work this time.
Okay, he had that life aura, which I guess explains it. And yeah, no wind drag to deal with that.
Oh, right. I forgot his middle panels were broken earlier.
Ooh, and nothing to deal with that life aura. He might... It's very risky, but he might go into beast out to chip charge, so I'm not really sure about that. It might be better to just try to take defensive turn, take the 3 defensive chips he has, and see how it goes.
Well, actually, if he does not beast out, he has him stuck in the middle, so he could possibly get him.
There's a good point.
Yeah, he's currently stuck in the middle, so he actually could probably get him.
And looks like he did. Oh no, that might give enough time for these panels to get fixed.
Yeah.
That was really rough. Ooh, I don't... Is he going to be able to avoid that? I think he just needs to move up, yeah.
Yeah. Gregor!
Ooh!
Wait, he got him! I mean, it's gonna do maybe 100 damage, but...
That's still better than nothing from a chip that he would have had to throw away. And now ending with 2 area grabs, so maybe he'll get Q-Force next turn. Or maybe if he gets decrossed, then he's losing on 3 custom spaces. So that's going to be very rough. Ooh, and... Oh wow!
Double hit! Getting kissed twice, man, I'm telling you.
Wait, did he get hit both times while he was on the same panel? That was weird.
Well, no, it hit him, but he got pushed back into it.
Oh, I guess that makes sense, yeah.
Ouch.
And no Q-Force, unfortunately. So he might be going to chip charge, trying to get that 2x damage, but he's very behind on HP, about 1000 HP difference, 900. Beast out's coming, so might be seeing some combos come out. Ah, That was a nice wind rack connecting. And the blast one will bring him down to 1 HP, but he has that wind rack. Does Mars have any way to deal with that? Protoman SP would be more than... That's it!
That was quite a finish.
It was indeed. That chip charging saved the day. If he had no way to deal with it, that could have been very painful.
Chip charge is something that some players sometimes forget that, which is possible. Remember, even base Beast Stout has a chip charge, which does 200 damage at 5 attack.
Wait, what?
It's base Beast Stout, you know, the regular Beast Stout.
Oh, I thought you meant base as in base the Navi.
No.
I was confused.
Nah, the base Beast one also has a chip charge. It's two hits of 100 at max power, but that's still pretty good.
Oh, that missed TFC losing the invis, unfortunate. He could have used the invis to try to get anger from the rush that Metal Wolfie has. Ooh.
He's safe behind that rock. Ah, good TFC. Oh, and wow.
That was lucky breaking that cube as well.
Yeah.
Ooh.
Max power!
There is no slow gauge, but going to that Geddon can still be a lot of damage if Mars doesn't have any way to provide him the free movement or defense.
Yeah, the charge beast it actually stuns it roots the opponent down. But the problem is it's just really hard to get them. They have to be in the same row you are. But if you get them, you know, it hurts. Although if I remember correctly, it's not actually fire, it's pseudo breaking, right?
I think it's fire, but it isn't pseudo breaking.
Oh.
I think, yeah. Ooh, there we see it. I mean, it's probably more damage to just go for buster shots instead of going for his chip charge.
Really?
Maybe. I mean, the HP is going down very quickly, and his chip charge has a pretty long delay before it fires.
Oh, you're right.
Ooh,
okay,
yeah.
so I guess going buster was a better option.
Actually, that is a good point that Unknown Knight is saying in chat. Probably there with the Element Man, Mars meant to go for ice because that would give him some freedom and allow him to avoid that Gregor Buster. But unfortunately, because of lag and online connection, that missed into a lek.
That is the only thing that's unfortunate when they're battling online, the possible lag.
Okay, so now Metal Wolfie is thinking about changing crosses. Ooh, he might be expecting Tengu to come out, so he's going into a race to try to counter that. I mean, going into Slash to try to counter that.
Now Slash is gonna hurt.
Mars doing cross, this might be very... Oh, okay. These panels got fixed. So that's at least going to save him from the potential of taking 400 damage for free.
Ah, he moved up here, he moved up.
Ooh, only one hit. Oh, that's rough.
But that one hit was enough to remove that trap.
And losing anti-damage to that area grab was unfortunate as well, missed TFC. Ooh, that was close. And again,
no hugs allowed.
Another missed TFC, but ooh, okay. So now Metal Wolfie is going to cross cancel, and that will actually keep his anti-damage.
Yep. A fun quirk of anti-damage. If anti-damage will not activate until all animations are complete.
Yeah.
So if you get hit with anti-damage, but the turn ends, you can cross and keep your anti-damage.
Yeah,
it's an interesting quirk.
Yeah. You just need to be careful that even if the first frame of the anti-damage animation starts, then it's gone. So that's something to watch out for. Ooh, and going into Tomahawk, that might be very painful for Mars. And that Magnum is going to lock him in place, but unfortunately that missed. Yeah, he wanted that to connect so he can chip charge the Element Man and deal 2x damage with that. The double point was unfortunately just one panel and doesn't have any way of getting grab revenge. Ooh, that's still connected though.
Yeah, those were doing a lot of damage, those bees.
But now we see Metal Wolfie has these 2 recoveries as well. He has a lot of advantage. He's almost double Mars's HP and has more recovery and defense in hand. So this is definitely a very uphill battle for Mars to try to get back to. And yeah, probably Metal Wolfie is going for that second Magnum. Try to lock Mars in place and get these confirmed charge shots. Oh, looks like the game froze for a bit.
Oh no, this is not a good time for that! Player Zero, how could you freeze it?
Good question. If I knew, then I would know how to unfreeze it, but unfortunately, it's just one of these things you have to deal with.
I don't wanna cry.
Okay, looks like we're back.
Oh, that was close.
I mean, that was actually a funny time for the game to freeze, because at that point, Metal Wolfie is probably just smashing select to know when it comes back. He had no way of coming when it came back without smashing select.
Oh, that's true.
Ooh, Stadium Baseman. That's a very interesting choice. I think that might have been a mistake. I'm not really sure. But then the life hour is going to deny all of these chips. At least the defense is still going to be good.
Invisible for everybody.
He should have... Okay. If Mars was able to step forward, then that would have been a mistake for TFC. Ooh, still no way of dealing with that life aura, so he might have to throw away some chips, though his hand is looking very good. He really doesn't want to throw away any of these.
I mean, would you want to throw it? Would you want to?
I think that's rough. We're still in normal gauge, so the life hour is going to last a while. I agree with this decision. Maybe just wait a bit more, try to take some defense, see how it goes. Especially because Metal Wolfie is ahead on HP, so he can afford to wait it out a bit more.
Whoa!
No.
He's not on the field!
Yeah, that would have at least been able to remove that life aura. Now it's turn context. Okay, the wind track does come out.
Yo, that times 2 high boomer was pretty scary. High boomer by itself isn't that strong, but times 2, yep.
Ooh, going for Q Force, very interesting. Because yeah, he has stat guard, so the Gandalf Soul isn't going to do much. Yeah. I guess he might have been expecting a cross cancel into Tengu to back B the life aura, which is very interesting. Interaction that came out. Yeah.
Like, it's generally risky to go into Tengu just because of all the weaknesses it has.
Yeah. Ooh, having to throw away Protoman SP.
Fine example.
This is looking worse and worse for Mars.
Back him up.
The wind track, and we still haven't seen Hambach come out either. And Metal Wolfie still has 2 recoveries.
Oh man, so he effectively has 1800 HP.
Ooh, the 2x move misses. Oh no, yeah, that was a rough position to be in. Ooh, that was close. It's almost more than 10 times the HP that Mars has. This isn't looking good. Okay, at least Hubbite is coming out, so that will give him some chance to try to get in some damage. I mean, even if we go into damage judge, then Wolfie is still winning that one because he started with less HP. Very nice movement from Mars, being able to avoid all of these charge shots. Okay, going into a leg. D-cross.
Max HP.
Nice.
Max HP.
Nice movement though, avoiding the buster shot. Okay.
No, don't do it! Don't do it! Winning at full HP. I don't think I've seen that before.
Yeah, that is really rough. Although it wasn't really full HP. He used some recoveries to get there. So it wasn't as bad.
Oh man. To end on a match like that, I just want to throw my desk over. That was just ridiculous.
Yeah, that was a really close match.
Mars, Wolfie, everybody who fought, you're all great.
Yeah.
Remember that. Everyone who plays, you're all fantastic.
Yeah, that was definitely a lot of really good matches and very fun to talk and watch through. But yeah, so this is going to conclude today's stream. But before we head off, I'm just going to do a quick reminder to say that we're going to be having another stream tomorrow. So we're going to be showing off more matches from this cycle tomorrow at 1 p.m. EST. So make sure to tune into that. And yeah, I'm just again going to explain, you can join the N1GP through this link, and you can do !New Moon to get more information on the sign up process and how to go through with that, and people are more than happy to help.
We hope to see you here at the next stream. Don't forget the rules for New Moon do change every now and then. Like right now, we're still doing Freaky Friday. And
I believe next week is going to be normal BN, and leading up to Blood Moon, which is going to be our basically main event for New Moon going forward.
Oh boy!
Indeed. So that's going to be quite a thing to try to look out for. So make sure to join and get the information on how to sign up.
It's really easy to sign up, really easy to play. Trust me on that. And I take dark chips. We don't lie.
And yeah, so that is going to conclude the stream. Thank you everyone for watching. Hope you've enjoyed it. And obviously thanks to Eurasia for joining me in commentary. That was a lot of fun.
It's always fun with you, playerzero. Thank you very much for everything. Yay!
Yeah, huge shout out to Salad for working on that stream layout, and obviously to all the artists, especially Wolfie, who had this amazing Bugriser Navi Bugriser thing. And yeah, thank you everyone for watching, and we'll see you tomorrow. Goodbye.
Bye.